All right. What is going on, everybody? And welcome on in to another episode of the Cinema Lords podcast, episode number 9. And we finally hit some bumps. We were having some real smooth sailing. Every single thing was going pretty damn well. We even done a couple of bonus shows. If you want to include those, we've actually done probably like 12 episodes to this point or something like that. And we've had virtually no issues. Unfortunately, now, today, we have a lot of issues. I am going to have to break the unfortunate news to my girlfriend. I'm going to break it to you guys before I break it to her because it's always easier. I heard this is therapeutic. I killed both of her batteries in our good camera. They're both gone. The good camera won't even start up today, which is why poor Lucas is loaded with camera icons. As you guys can see, we have one camera today. Our good producer, Mr. Rogers, is not going to be able to be seen by anybody. He'll be heard, but he will not be seen.
Always heard, never seen.
We didn't realize we were having these issues until about 2 seconds ago, right as we were starting the show. But, you know, this is a great week, I say, to promote the Spotify's and iTunes listens. You know what I mean? Go, if you're not just looking for the video version, you can always still go and listen to us. You know what I mean?
The show must go on.
The show must go on. We got things to talk about. We can't miss a week. You know what I mean? But we're having some issues. Me and Luke are really huddled together here, so there might be a bit of an echo as well this week. I apologize for that if there is. But in order to get us both on camera, we had to tighten up. As I said, Luke's covered up in icons. But the show must go on. We have a lot to talk about. We have our 3 weekly recaps: She-Hulk, Rings of Power, Lord of the Rings, and then House of the Dragon to continue. 2 of those, Rings of Power and House of the Dragon, banger episodes this week, so we got a lot there. I also got a couple cinema things I want to talk about and also some MCU things I want to talk about. But before we do that, let's see who we're talking to. And as I kind of already mentioned, you guys kind of probably heard some of that. He's back. He's better than ever. He's been putting in a lot of work since Kalos has been away. He's been helping me out every which way. He's on the ones and twos. You can't see his face, but you'll hear his lovely voice. Mr. Seth Rogers. Moose, what's going on, baby? How you doing?
Guys, how we doing? Like I said, the show must go on. You know, the Great Pyramids of Egypt. I'm sure they weren't built perfectly. You know what I mean? They had some bumps in the road. Eiffel Tower, you name it. The show must go on. This is a hell of an episode to jump in on, too, because I thought we had some awesome episodes from, I don't want to say all 3. Like, guaranteed 2 out of 3. She-Hulk was okay. So we had some awesome episodes. So, yeah, we got a lot to dig into tonight.
We sure do. And then with us again, he's also been putting in his work since Kalos has been out. He filled in on the ones and twos last week. Now he's back on this side of the table, making his 4th co-hosting appearance, I believe.
I think so, yeah.
Number 4. Our aficionado of all things Westeros, Mr. Lucas Klein. And Lukey, baby, what's up?
Doing good. Like Seth said, big turning points this week for both the shows I'm all in on here. So
yep,
really excited to get through that.
Yeah,
and yeah, you know, I think we're handling these technical glitches well. We're rolling with it.
Like I said, man,
stressing, but we'll be good, dude.
I felt like everything was going real smooth. You know what I mean? We've been pumping out episodes. We haven't had a fucking problem. I've just been literally able to kind of take my time and try to make things better because I haven't had anything to worry about. Yep. And now we're here today, and we're in rough waters, but we're gonna fight through. You know what I mean? Like I said, it's a good week maybe to just do the audio version.
You're more worried about breaking it to Steph.
I certainly am worried about breaking it to Steph because now not only do I have to get her at least 1 new battery, probably 2 new batteries because she had 2 for her camera because the camera's still working. It's just the batteries that are dead. I now need to get like another camera to do this show with.
You should wait until the podcast comes. Like, have her find out in the opening of this podcast what happened. Like, you should.
Hey, babe, this episode's really targeted for you.
Give this one a listen.
But now that we've introduced who we're talking to today, we're going to dive into some topics. I wanted to start off this episode with the cinema because, after all, we are, quote-unquote, the cinema lords. I know we haven't had too much time to dive into the movie theater because we've been covering so many shows. But I was fortunate enough to hit the movie theaters not once but twice this past week. I wanted to talk about the 2 movies I saw real quick. I know the boys weren't there to see them with me, but just wanted to give my ratings and such real quick. I'm going to save the better one for last. On Friday nights, me and Steph, we hit the theater together to go see Smile on opening night.
That looks scary.
Horror movie, yep, certainly does. Looks very creepy. I've loved what the MLB has done, even though I'm not really watching baseball right now, but I saw that their marketing strategy, they're literally just paying extras to like step getting their tickets and everything. They're sitting right behind home plate and they're just doing like that smile like during like
Oh my god, that is
You haven't seen that?
terrifying. I saw somebody.
didn't
I think
either.
it was a football game. I might have saw.
Oh, all right. I was saying they've done it a few times in baseball games now, where they had people just like I said, right behind home plate, just doing like the smile, like right at the fucking camera and stuff
Give
like
them
that.
props.
Freaky.
that.
I didn't see that either.
That's terrifying.
Oh yeah, very funny. I love that marketing strategy. Very unique. You know what I
Imagine
mean?
having no idea on the film and you sit next to that person. Like,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you don't know about the film. And
You're
you
like,
just
what
sit
the
next to that
fuck is going on? Yeah, like some like 70, 60-year-old man or something
Just
like
wanted
that.
to see a
Just
Red
like-
Sox game, like just at Fenway Park, just to see the Red Sox.
But like I said, very unique marketing campaign. The early reviews were really good. Not even just for a horror, because horror movies usually don't get too much respect review-wise. This wasn't just getting good horror movie reviews. This was getting good review reviews. Like it was in the 80s, I think, for both critics and common audiences in the early reviews. So I'm like, all right, like this is going to be a banger of a movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was because of those reviews or what have you, but I came out of the theater a little bit disappointed on this one. Kind of like what I said with actually Don't Worry, Darling. This was, in fact, a movie. It had a beginning, it had a middle, it had an end. It wasn't awful, and I'm not rushing to tell anybody about it. It was a movie. I actually put Don't Worry, Darling, I think at a 7.2. I would put this at like a 7.1. A couple notes that I definitely noticed right away that were problems with it. First off, the movie was like 2 hours, like flat pretty much. It could have been easily 20 to 30 minutes shorter.
Horror movies shouldn't be that long. I feel like.
Like The Conjuring is, but that's because like
There's
there's
a
no
lot of
point in The Conjuring.
backstory.
Yep, there's no point that
Yeah.
slows down in that movie. If you have a story to tell, by all means, even
Yeah.
it, you know what I'm saying with the
Yeah.
kids. If you have a story to tell, by all means,
Just get 90 minutes of just the goods and
exactly. This movie, especially the second hour of it, I would say, fucking dragged like fucking crazy. The first hour I was really into it and stuff, and then the second hour felt just repetitious, just like the same thing on repeat. I was just like, meh. The other big thing I took away from it, actually, there was two more things. One of the other big things I took away from it is that the scariest scene in the entire movie is in the trailer. It's the Seth. I actually think you mentioned it once. You jumped at it a couple times.
with
when
the
you saw
car
it.
window.
In the car window.
Oh yeah, that scared
Yeah.
the hell out of me.
You see it too?
That's the one that sticks in my head too.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. So we've seen this scene now in the trailer, right? So you when the movie comes on and you're actually watching it, you know how it ends, right? But I'm not going to lie, the movie does such a great job with the scene prior to this moment that the build up to this moment is perfect. And if you hadn't have seen the trailer, this moment would have scared the shit out of you. You know what I'm saying? They ruined, I would say, the biggest scare of the entire movie by using it in the trailer and giving away what happens in a scene where it was good build up. Because a lot of times scary movies, they do the thing where it's like, all right, it's nighttime, it's dark. Now the sounds start echoing. Things start getting creepy because it's dark. This is broad daylight, right in the middle of the fucking day. It was following like kind of like a serious conversation between two sisters who are having a bit of a falling out. So serious dialogue. Yeah. One sister kicks the other sister out of her house. She goes to her car. And then the second sister walks back down. And in your head, you're thinking, even if you haven't seen the trailer, you're like, oh, wow, maybe she's going to apologize. Maybe she's going to say, my bad. You know what I mean? But it's a scare that you've seen in the trailer. And it just fucking, I was just like, oh my God, man, how do you waste that? Exactly. It was the biggest scare of the movie by far, and they blow it on the trailer. And then, like I said, in the movie, they do such a good job of leading up to that scare to hit, but it's like, you already know how it ends.
They can easily just throw like jumps and scares in the preview that aren't in the movie. You know what I mean? Like I feel like I've seen that
like
before.
deleted scenes? Oh, yeah.
deleted
MCU
scenes,
does it
like,
all the time.
Things that didn't make the cut, like whatever it is, like just throw some random scenes like that in there. You don't need the whole like the big payoff to be in the trailer. That's dumb.
Yep, no, I agree. Definitely just a waste of that scene because like I said, it should have been so fucking good. Like it should have been almost like monumentally scary.
It's like when comedies tell their best joke in the previews.
Exactly.
Like, how you doing? Like,
exactly. Just a waste.
The three best jokes of the whole movie.
Like I laughed during the trailer.
Yeah.
And,
like
so
this movie's gonna be
I already know
crazy.
it.
Like you wouldn't use their best joke.
A comedy is a good metaphor for it because it's almost like they gave you the punchline of the joke before the joke. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This scene I'm talking about.
Right.
It's like now you get the whole joke, but you already know how the punchline hits, so it's like it takes away from it. You know what I'm saying? And it's a really good joke if you want to keep using
that's
that
a good
metaphor.
parallel. I like
you know
that.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that was one of the other things, and then the last thing was the ending. In the movie, like I just said to you guys, it easily could have been 20 to 30 minutes shorter. It very much felt like all of a sudden they got to like, an hour and 50 minutes and they were just like, oh shit, we have to like end this movie. And the ending was so rushed and like anticlimactic. It just felt so flat, at least for me. I was just like, that's it? I was like, we've been here for an hour and like 45 minutes at this point, and we just finished this thing off in 5 minutes?
Yeah, felt like we were building something.
That's how I felt. And I told you I watched that movie on Netflix. Was it The Rental?
Oh, yeah.
I felt
What
the
is that,
same way
sir?
with that one. Like I'm looking at the time for how long that's left, and there's no payoff. And then it was like the last 10 minutes were the payoff of it, and it was just
Yeah.
Same thing, wicked quick, anticlimactic. Like
I do remember, yeah.
it was just 10 minutes of just like boom, like this is what happens. That's it. So I felt the exact same way with that one.
I only watched that when it first came out. I did remember liking it. I was in, you know what though? I'm into that drama shit. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of drama.
It was very entertaining. Alison Brie on
Yeah.
drugs was pretty hilarious.
Exactly,
During-
yeah.
during that.
I liked that movie. I'm not gonna lie.
It was okay,
I'd have to
yeah.
watch it again to like fully recollect what specific like you're talking about, but I'll take your word for it. But I do remember coming away from that. Not like saying it was great, but I
It was
remember
fun.
liking it.
Yeah, it was fun.
I always like seeing. I don't know his real name, but Lip from fucking Shameless. I love him. He's the man. He's fucking awesome. But he's in that as well.
Yep.
But like I said, 7.1, meh. If you're into horror movies and you want to go to the theater, I haven't checked it out yet. I'm gonna hopefully go see Pearl this week, but I'd probably go see that. I haven't even seen it yet, but just based off of what I'm hearing, I know how good X was. I have faith that Pearl is gonna be better than this movie, just without even seeing it. The second thing I went to go see, I actually mentioned last week for the first time in my entire life. I had been mulling this over many times. There have been many, many times where I was like, you know what? I'm going to go to the theater by myself. I'm going to go to the theater by myself. I'm going to go to the theater by myself. And it's always fell through. This week, Wednesday, 11:30 showing, Fall River. I popped in by myself. I went and saw The Woman King. And goddamn, was I so happy that I did. Because this movie was fucking awesome.
Nice.
Instantaneously went into the top of my movies that I've seen so far this year. I was trying to think it through. I was probably putting it in like the 5 to 10 range right there. I was saying like definitely a low 9. As soon as I came out, I was like, that's a 9, 9.2, 9.3.
That's strong.
It was fucking awesome. I mean, not one. I going into it, I love Viola Davis. I saw how she got jacked for this movie. I saw the role that she was playing. I knew that she was going to kill it, and she absolutely did. She wasn't even the second or the third best performance in this movie.
Damn.
Are we thinking like Academy Award nominee or like
Maybe it's like
Best Actor?
I would definitely say Viola Davis should be in the mentioning for Best Actress.
nominee.
These other people should be in the role for Best Supporting, I think.
wow.
Especially Lashana, I looked her up, Lashana Lynch. She plays kind of like, if you ever seen, I know Seth's seen Sons of Anarchy, so he'll know what I'm talking about. I don't know if you have, but she plays like the Sergeant-at-Arms kind of role. Not the VP, the Sergeant-at-Arms. Kind of the girl that's working hands-on with the new recruits and shit like that.
Yeah.
She was awesome. I'm not even joking, I fell in love with this girl a half an hour into the movie.
Wow.
Like 2 or 3 scenes, and I was already like, oh my God, I love this girl. She is awesome. She's tough as shit. She can fight like a savage. She's got these huge ass nails so that she can literally freaking just like claw into eyes and mouths and all kinds of shit like that. But then she's also got like a playfulness banter to her when when you get her behind closed doors, kind of, you know what I mean? When there's no enemy lurking, and she's kind of just there with the new recruits. She can kind of bust some shit and talk some shit.
It's my kind of girl.
She's
There you go.
fucking unbelievable. I was in love with her. And then the other one was Tusu Mbidu. Had to look up her name as well. But she kind of plays like the new recruit, the new trainee, the new chick on the block. You know what I'm saying? She just got called in. And she was also fucking spectacular. This girl is only friggin' too. Like, the actress that played her, I'd say like 90 pounds, like soaking wet. And I was terrified of her. So this girl, fucking savage. Doing all kinds of WWF moves, Seth. Fucking, you know what I mean? Just like Rey Mysterio in his prime, just like fucking reversing everything, slinging around these dudes and shit.
619.
Yeah,
619 and people.
the friggin' battle sequences were awesome. These girls fought like savages, man. It was so cool. They did a great job with it.
Wow.
It looked fucking awesome. I loved it. I came out of it. It was like 2 hours and 15 minutes, and I was just like, that flew by. You know what I mean? That was fucking awesome. I loved it.
That is a rave review right there if I've ever heard one. That's,
Yeah.
Strong. That's
Yeah.
a strong
I
review.
can't say enough good things about
You're
it.
going to go see it again probably while it's still in theaters, it sounds like.
I mean, if I can, who knows? I know Los and Steph were on the ropes about seeing it. That's why I kind of ended up going to see it by myself. But like, if now after I said that, I know Steph seemed more interested. If they wanted to go see it, I would absolutely. I know it's probably getting kind of towards the end of its run because it's been out for a while now. But I mean, if you get a chance to go see it on the big screen, I would, because it looked awesome. I don't have much bad to say about it. There was one little like thing in the plot line that they kind of added sort of for like a twist for twist's sake, sort of, but it wasn't like a big like movie changing twist. It was kind of like a small thing that I thought was sort of just unnecessary. They just kind of added for shit's sake. Yeah. But like I was like, all right, whatever. Like, you know, it's fine. It's not like a ruin. You know what I mean? Movie was awesome. It looked fucking great. It sounded awesome. I saw it in the fucking Dolby Atmos theaters too, which is always good. I love going to see those in Fall River, extra speakers and shit. But if you get the chance and you're into those kind of things, the war movies, I definitely recommend going to see it because it was awesome. Like I said, right at the top of my fucking list for this year.
Nice. I'm gonna check that out for sure.
Yeah,
that sounds really good.
Like I said, it's probably gonna be leaving somewhat soon, so I'm sure usually nowadays movies hit the streaming so fast now. You know what I mean? It'll probably be up there in no time. But
right.
Either way, it was fucking awesome. I can't wait to watch it again, whether it's here or in the theaters. It was spectacular. From there, I want to go into a little bit of news, but it's all MCU related because it was a fucking monster week for the MCU in regards of just news, rumors, all kinds of shit.
That's good because I got some DC news that I can throw in too.
Perfect.
Hey.
First thing I wanted to talk about, last week when we were here, hours before we popped into the studio, Ryan Reynolds dropped a clip on our faces, basically making it seem like Hugh Jackman's back as Wolverine in Deadpool 3.
Right.
The very next day on Wednesday, do a second video. They're talking about the movie, so almost confirmation, like, all right, that wasn't just for busting balls. Like, Hugh Jackman's fucking back, and he is, in fact, Wolverine. The second video, I don't know if you guys watched it, was very funny. They were like, all right, we know you guys got some questions, you know, in regards to how we're going to do this. And the first thing they say is, like, how is Wolverine alive, you know? And they say, like, oh, well, in Logan, he dies in the year. It's like 2050 something or something like that. So he's like, we're not touching that. Mm-hmm. And then once they like get the question two, like, music just starts playing in, and you can't hear what they're saying, but they're just kind of, like, acting along, and they're just, like, pretending to, like, freaking kill each other and shit. Dang. So it was very funny, and then it kind of like ends after a minute or so, and they're like, yeah, and that's what we're gonna do for Deadpool 3. So it's just like, all right, we ain't fucking kidding around no more. Hugh Jackman is
real
back, baby.
Not a cameo either.
Yeah,
like not at the end of like Deadpool 2, you know, the post credit scenes where he's going through time and all that.
Right?
Like,
Yes. Which I forgot about that.
Yeah,
the fact that he goes to him.
I think he tells him too, like,
yes,
I'll see you, like, you know, something generic. I'll see you again or something like that.
I think he says like when when someone comes asking for you again, make sure you say yes. Is actually I think something along the lines of what he says.
Yep. So yeah, they're right on track with that.
But I mean. Excitement's too.
I know. I thought he was done. He made it seem like he was done.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it was necessarily so much. I think he was more so done with doing those X-Men movies because they weren't very good. I think the MCU and Kevin Feige come calling. I think that kind of changes the game. It's a different bag a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The one. Well, I don't know if it was the last one in the series. For
Logan?
him. Logan was wicked good.
Logan was unbelievable.
Yeah. Wasn't that his last movie?
That was the last one.
Yeah.
R-rated, which I mean, fucking. It was
a really
awesome.
cool movie.
Yeah, very, very, very awesome. I was hoping that we would get a new movie with the new Wolverine, like the girl that he basically takes in as a daughter and stuff, and she's got the same kind of skills as him. Right. But she actually reminds me very much of, now that I think about it, Seth, she reminds me a lot of Love from Love and Thunder.
Yeah, that's a good comparison.
You know what I'm saying? Those girls look, I feel like, eerily similar. I haven't seen Logan in a little bit, but I feel like they're very much like almost the same age and shit, too.
Yeah.
It's her.
Yeah, no kidding. Oh, well, it's been so many years. She would have to have grown up by now. But I'll get your heads up.
Yeah. I think it's too, like, they, you know, like when like X-Men came out and stuff, they were, you know, we were like, you know, borderline, you know, kids, teenagers.
Yeah. We were young.
So I think, you know, these movies that are coming out now, they need to realize that they need to have these like heroes that were around when we were kids coming out. So you know what I mean? I feel like they're kind of appealing to our generation.
Yeah.
Bringing back somebody like Wolverine. Versus not necessarily like the kids and, you know, it's a new superhero and this, that, and the other. So
I agree.
I like that they're kind of connecting to the, you know,
to the established fan base.
Yeah.
Like to the people like, say, Kalos, who are kind of on the border with a lot of these new heroes and a lot of the new Marvel.
Right.
I get exactly what you're saying.
Yeah. They're doing a good job balancing the new heroes and that, you know, playing homage to the old ones that we grew up with.
Yep, keeping the older fans still intrigued, you know what I mean? Because I think there's a lot of people, I don't think Los is alone. I think there's a lot of people that kind of feel that way about a lot of these new shows and these new heroes.
Yeah, I was the same way for, like, very reluctant on a lot of them.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think you're right. I think keeping, you know, a guy like Wolverine, especially Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, that's a guy that we love, you know what I mean? We're very attached to.
Iron Man's not around anymore. Captain America's not around anymore.
Yep.
So, yeah. They're doing a good job.
Speaking of Iron Man, We found out that Armor Wars, which has been in the works for a while now, it's supposed to be the Don Cheadle featured series on Disney Plus. It got moved to a movie, which I got to be honest, I think is a great fucking
Yeah, I
move.
love it.
Yeah, you do too?
Love it.
Yeah, I think that's a great, great move.
Yep.
These shows lately have been very iffy, for starters. And I'm all for a Rhodey story. I like Rhodey. I love Don Cheadle. I like the character of War Machine. I'm all for it. But 6 hours seems like almost a lot to me.
They were supposed to be hour longs.
I would imagine it was
Yeah,
probably, I
give or
mean, that's
take
just,
45.
it's an assumption, but yeah, okay, sure, exactly, yeah. Like,
Still
you know,
equals a large amount. of
6
time. Yeah.
50-minute
No,
episodes or whatever it is.
Give me 2 hours.
Exactly.
I'm good.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
I think a nice 2-hour story, we can get a little bit more of a real backstory. Not backstory, but kind of more about his actual character.
Yeah.
Because he's always been the sidekick.
Yeah.
Now we can kind of feature in on him a little bit more, have a little bit of a bigger budget, do some awesome action sequences. We don't have to fill 6 episodes. It's in a smaller time frame. Make more fireworks.
I think
it's a great move.
He's the oldest like featured character in a Marvel. He's gonna be like 57 years old, like Don Cheadle. That is.
No shit, really?
It's like he's supposed to be like the oldest featured Marvel character in a movie.
No
up
shit.
Until this point.
I didn't know that. That's a good call. I love that. But yeah, be on the lookout for Armor Wars. I think that's coming 2024. That, like I said, that one's been in the works now. I feel like forever. That one's been announced for a grip.
Yeah.
From there, we go to more changes. Blade, starring Mahershala Ali, supposed
As
to
of
be
right now.
coming. Yeah, no shit. No kidding.
As of this podcast.
Supposed to be hitting filming in November of this year. So, say basically 4 weeks from now. And the movie is in fucking shambles. Mahershala Ali basically came out and said that he was basically very frustrated. The script's only 90 pages long. It only featured 2 very lackluster was the word he used, action sequences. So he was very, very upset with the script. Turns out the director stepped down just recently in the coming last 2 weeks. He stepped down. So they're on the lookout for a new director. And MCU and Disney scrapped the 90-page script that they had that Mahershala Ali didn't like, and it is now being rewritten from scratch by the guy who wrote Moon Knight, and then he also wrote the X-Men 97 series as well.
Oh, man.
Oh no.
So that
Big
makes me
setback,
nervous.
damn.
Yeah. Makes me very, 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 very nervous for this movie. I was excited for this movie. I love Blade. I love Mahershala. I thought this was going to be an absolute home run.
Yeah. You would think he would have read the script before he took the role.
Well, I think he probably took the role before the script was done, if I had to
man.
guess. When the MCU comes a knocking, it's a different breed, you know what I mean? Especially for a role like that. I mean, that's a very prestigious role, you know what I'm saying? Wesley Snipes fucking is known for that goddamn role.
That's true.
You know what, too? Good for him, though, for reading the script and being like, listen, I'm not just going to be some half-ass thrown together Marvel project.
He's an Oscar winner.
Probably
He's
why,
Oscar winner.
Right, which is probably why he's not on the bailing on it, but that's why they're pausing their production. You know what I mean? I think he's you're not just half-assing my movie that I'm doing for Marvel. We're gonna make this good, and he has a right to have that opinion.
I totally agree. I'm almost happy that he did, because the last thing I want is for this movie to flop, you know what I mean? Like I said, I'm a Blade guy. I'm looking forward to it. I really want it to do good. I didn't love Moon Knight, but the thing was, I don't know, it was the way that it was. It was just so slow and monotonous, and by the end of it, I feel like we still hadn't even finished the story that we were trying to tell. So it's I just hope we don't do something like that with Blade.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sad.
I feel like there's not even all that much backstory to Blade. It's kind of something that we can get through sort of quickly in a half an hour of the first movie, and then we can kind of just get into the fucking shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. But we'll see. I don't know. I have my worries. People were saying, is Kevin Feige spread too thin? Too many projects, too many shows, too many movies. He's supposedly working on his Star Wars trilogy that he's working on too. Who knows? You know what I mean?
You know, on second thought, take your time with Blade. Let's get a good Star Wars show. On second thought.
Last bit of news before we dive into my recommendations. Black Panther, second trailer came out this week. I think it was 2 days ago. Very different vibe from the first trailer. First trailer, very almost funeral-esque, paying homage to Chadwick Boseman and his character. This one had a lot more feel going on. They featured a lot more of the bad guy in this one, who's going to be Namor, which they've also confirmed is going to be a mutant too. So we not only have Hugh Jackman coming in as Wolverine, obviously a mutant, but we have Namor in this movie going to be a mutant. But a lot more featured on him, which I kind of liked. We also got at the very, very end a fucking glimpse of who has to be my girl. I can't imagine it'd be anybody else, but Shuri as Black Panther.
It's gotta be, yeah.
Fucking
like it.
looking badass.
Also get Ironheart for the first time too.
Which, let me tell you, it's just a gut feeling. I have a gut feeling that she's going to be on Team Nick's real. I'm going to be riding for that girl hard.
Yeah.
She seems like a certified gangster. I like her already. I haven't even seen her on the screen yet, and I'm already going in like thinking, I think this girl's going to be one of my homies. She's going to be on one of my go-to teams, you know what I mean?
A hard on, if you will.
Yeah. I got a friggin' pop right there. Just copped that this week too. But I thought this fucking looks awesome. The water scenes, man. I don't know if it's because Avatar 2's been coming out with all their trailers and stuff, The Way of Water or whatever it is. I keep getting
they look good.
They do. The underwater scenes that they keep showing in the trailer look fucking so freaking cool, man. I have to imagine that's James Cameron reinventing the game again, because that's literally why he said that Avatar 2 took so long. He was literally learning how to film on the water with like an entirely new style, reinventing the game. But like you said, Ironheart, Shuri, lots of Namor, a little M'Baku. This one seemed a lot more almost pumped up. Music still, banging. Seems like it's almost focused on what's coming rather than the first trailer seemed on like, what's past kind of, you know what I mean?
The aftermath of T'Challa.
This one seemed like, all right, what are we getting into kind of thing.
Yeah.
Trailer looked awesome. Did you guys check it out?
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad they chose his younger sister too. Like they aren't trying to force some other random excuse for
Recasting
Black
would have been
Panther,
a
like-
horrible decision.
I agree.
like
Horrible.
No, just pass it down through the family. And,
Yep.
like she's the one who created the suit and everything.
Yep.
Like it makes sense,
Yep.
I am intrigued how they're going to explain how he passed, though.
I am too.
That's because they don't really get into it in the trailer. You just see the funeral and this, that, and the other. So
Yep.
I am interested.
Very
to
curious.
see that part. For me, at least.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. I think a lot of people are, you know what I mean? I so much. You know what's probably not going to be is like some kind of a battle thing, I would imagine. I don't think he's going to be like quote unquote killed in action kind of a thing. I wouldn't be surprised if they maybe honestly do it something realistic where, like I say realistic, I mean like something
Like how he died in real
sickness.
life.
Yeah, exactly. Like sickness based kind of a thing.
Oh, yeah.
But you got to be tough, though, because it is Wakanda. You know what I mean? So
It's
it
true.
is Wakanda, so
Yeah,
you got to figure
yeah.
they're fixing any sickness. So, yeah. That'll be the most intriguing thing to me is
Yeah.
how they pull that off.
Yeah, I saw the runtime came out too, 2 hours 40 minutes. So I was like, yes, that's what I'm
Deserves it.
talking about. The
Yeah,
last couple of
deserves it.
movies have been real short, and I felt like they both could have been a little bit longer. Multiverse of Madness and Thor. I thought they both could have been 15, 20 minutes longer and a little bit more fleshing out of people here and there.
Yep.
Gore comes to mind right away because he was a badass and he didn't get enough screen time. But I like that. 2 hours 40. Let's tell the story the way it's supposed to be told.
Yep.
Let's keep it moving here. I'm going to do my recommendations real quick before we dive into She-Hulk. It is officially Halloween. It is officially October. I am very, very excited. I have 3 recommendations, all quote-unquote horror themed, but they're all different horror themed, okay? So first one, Paramount Plus. All these 2, you can stream all of them. I made sure of that this week. First one, Paramount Plus, Green Room. Features Patrick Stewart, who we've actually been kind of talking about almost a little bit. He's Professor Xavier, as you guys might know from X-Men. And then a guy that I fucking love, Joe Cole, who is from Peaky Blinders. He plays the youngest brother. He's also in a show that I love, Gangs of London. That is awesome. If you haven't seen Gangs of London, I highly, highly, highly recommend that you do because it's fucking fantastic. But it's a very intense movie. This is a little bit more of that slashery thriller kind of a vibe. Punk rock band playing in a very grungy, not like a mainstream arena, underground kind of a place. You know what I'm saying? Get done with their show. They get to their dressing room. You know what I mean? All right, we just killed it. Let's fucking party a little bit. And in their fucking dressing room is like a murdered guy. So they're like, oh fuck. Turns out the guys that killed them. Now they're like, oh shit. Now there's a bunch of witnesses. So now we got to kind of take care of this band. So it's kind of like we're trapped in this place. We got to kind of get out and escape kind of a thing. Right. Like I said, very intense.
I've seen it, but it was a long time ago, and yeah, I don't remember any details. So
Oh, all right. You've seen it? Oh, all right. Yeah. It's good.
Yeah.
Really, 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 really good.
intense. And
Very intense.
Like-
Very much. You're on the edge of your seat. You're kind of like, oh my god, you're sweating a little bit. You know what I mean?
and they're in some kind of like camp compound of like criminals and stuff, kind of like.
Well, they're in, like I said, it's like an underground. It's not like say like for instance when you say that you can think of like a city, say like wherever you are, like an underground kind of. It's not like that. Kind of like what you're saying. It's kind of out in the middle of nowhere, in the outskirts, kind of almost like in a warehouse, kind of a thing like that. Yeah. When you say cultish, it's funny you say that because the guys that are actually the ones that committed the murders are like white supremacists. They're I think They're very white supremacy kind of guys. But, like I said, kind of get out or die situation. Very intense, like I said, on the edge of your seat. Very good. That's more like I said, that slashery feel to it. Very, very good. Second one is a zombie apocalypse. Not a zombie apocalypse, but a zombie movie. So it's got like that gore aspect to it. It's kind of more gross, not scary, hilarious. Like fucking hilarious.
Intentionally hilarious?
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Zombieland hilarious? Or?
It's funnier. Without a doubt, it's funnier than Zombieland. Little Monsters on Hulu. Lupita Nyong'o, who you might know from Us, the second Jordan Peele movie, the main character.
Okay.
It's her. And then Josh Gad is also in it.
Yeah.
He's from a bunch of shit. Probably most notably 21 comes to mind. Love and Other Drugs, which probably no one's seen but me. But he's in that too.
Like Beauty and the Beast too. Or something.
Beauty and the Beast, yeah. Does a lot of voice work too, I think, for like those
he's killing
animated
Disney.
movies and shit. Yeah. He's hysterical in this movie. He plays basically like your fucking your kid's cat, like your Blues, like Steve from Blues Clues, almost kind of a guy.
Nice.
But basically, your main character is some no named actor, but we'll call him Uncle David because that's what his nephew calls him the whole movie. But Uncle David. Movie opens up. He's breaking up with his wife, kind of a thing, right? He ends up moving in with his sister. His sister's got a kid, the nephew. You know what I'm saying? And he brings the nephew to school one day. Now he's kind of the uncle's kind of a fucking. Smokes a lot of weed. He's in a guitar band. He's in a rock band that broke up like 6 years ago, but he won't give up the dream. He's still chasing it. You know what I mean? Heavy death metal shit. Very funny. Brings his nephew to school. Sees his like kindergarten teacher. Falls in love with her instantly. That's Lupita.
Okay.
So, he's like, all right, how do I fucking get closer to her? Turns out they're going on a field trip. They're going to go to this friggin' like, kind of like a children's friggin' fun house. It's like a petting zoo, friggin' mini golf, little fun fair kind of a thing. You know what I'm saying? One of the parents drops out. He's like, I'll take the role. So they go to this fun fair thing. They got the whole class, you know what I'm saying? His nephew included. And right next to this petting zoo and fucking whatever you want to call it is also an army facility. And at the army facility, like at the beginning of the movie, a fucking zombie outbreak like breaks out. So all the zombies start making their way over to the fucking like the petting zoo, basically, fucking where the kids are at. So the main character and the teacher Lupita have to basically like, defend these children and get them out of Dodge and save their lives and shit.
Nice.
Josh Gad is, like I said, he plays like a Blues Clues Steve kind of a character. He's already there that day by coincidence doing some kind of kids special. Turns out he's a fucking lunatic. The movie is so fucking funny. I've seen it like 2 or 3 times. The other night, me and Steph were looking for something to watch. She mentioned that, and I was just like, don't even mention anything else. Putting that on. I love that movie. And like I said, I think it was the 3rd time I watched it, and I still like laughed my ass off like the whole movie.
Love
It is hilarious. I love horror comedy. Like I said, it's got like that gruesome shit to it, but there's no real like scares in it. But still falls into the category. You know what I mean? You have zombies, that meets the criteria.
Nice.
And then the last one I have, because I have 3 this week, is on Netflix. This one's a series, The Haunting of Hill House, one of my favorite series of all time. I know it was very popular, so I'm sure a lot of people have seen it. But if you haven't seen it, go check it out. Based on the book by the same name, one of the most famous like horror books ever written, actually. Also, there was a movie about it in like the '90s called The Haunting, which is I love. Clive Owen, Owen Wilson, Catherine Zeta-Jones, good movie.
Jeffrey Rush, I think, in that too.
Yeah,
Really?
yep, he's in it too. Awesome movie.
He's like Vincent Price, I think, or something like that.
Yep. But the show on Netflix is awesome. It's fucking intense. It's scary. It's also very depressing, but I feel like a lot of horror shit is. But I mean, it kind of takes place. It's following this family after the passing of their mother who committed suicide, and it kind of goes back between the time when she does commit suicide and then I think it's like 20 years later when they're grown up and how they're dealing with it now and how they're kind of being haunted by it. But very, very intense, very, very, very good, very scary. Yeah. Episode 7, I'll mention it now, has one of the greatest filmed scenes of anything you'll ever see. Reminds me of, we've talked about True Detective a bunch of times, the episode where Matthew McConaughey becomes the biker gang guy. They do that one shot where Matthew McConaughey goes through like the entire house. You know what I'm talking about? It's all one fucking view.
Yep.
They do one of those in episode 7, and it is about 9 or 10 minutes long to open up the episode, and it's fucking awesome because, like I said, taking place in 2 time zones. In this one scene, they interchangeably use both the old and young characters while the camera like spins. and I'm just like in my head,
changing the set as they're spinning it around.
right?
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking in my head, I'm just thinking like, oh my god, that's fucking awesome because you have all these people that are just like, and they have to be perfect.
Yeah,
You know
I've
what I
seen
mean?
some of those behind the scenes, and there's like 15 crew members like dragging furniture away, and
I actually think there's a special on that episode, like on YouTube, I believe, because I watched. I think it was on. If it wasn't on YouTube, it was on Netflix itself.
yeah,
But like you just said, a special on that episode itself, making that scene because it was fucking crazy.
cool. I don't remember that scene. I do remember the show, and it's a really cool show. And
Yeah.
it does a great job of building the creepiness, which I think is, for me, I don't love horror movies, but
Yep.
like just because they're
Not a
usually
huge
kind
fan,
of
yeah.
like just over the top.
Usually, yeah.
If it can
you have
build-
to you have
if
to
it-
appreciate it.
For sure. But if a movie can build a creepiness and like fully creep me out like Haunting Hill House did, or like The Shining can,
Yep.
or like stuff like that, I really respect that, and I'm into that. It's just I don't know. I'm not as into the
Horror scene.
horror scene as well.
Yeah. I know Seth's a big horror guy like me. We were big horror guys,
Yeah.
but it's not for everybody.
I remember watching a little bit of it too, and it definitely creepy.
Oh yeah, there's some that very creepy.
Yeah.
That one's a big one. But yeah, I'm glad that you saw that one too. So you give it the nod of approval as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it is
Double
really good.
confirmed right there.
There's a
sure.
guy from fucking Game of Thrones is in it too.
Uh,
He plays
Game of
he plays Daenerys' like lover.
From the Free Cities you're talking about there?
Yeah,
Dario?
Dario. Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh,
Yeah, the guy who's
he is.
recasted
He's the
is,
he's the
Dario
eldest
the
brother.
Harvest.
You're right. Yes, he is
Yeah.
the he's the eldest brother.
And
Yep.
then Amanda from Entourage. Amanda, right? From Entourage. Isn't it too? What was the agent that Vince? The agent
I think
that Vince was
she is in
banging
it
for a
too.
while. Yeah, she's the
mom.
She's the one that's kind of pulling.
She's
the
the
string-
mom. Yeah, she's the
pulling
fucking
strings.
mom.
Yeah.
That's right. Look at you.
Yeah, that's
I haven't
how I
even fucking
remember.
like seen the show, and this guy's telling
Yeah,
you
I
all
remember
about
a
it.
couple of those characters.
Good job, man. Good job. You nailed both of those. You're absolutely right. But definitely go check that one out, especially perfect for this time of year. And something I'm recommending to you guys next week might fucking be tied right into that one. So be on the lookout. We're a little kind of sort of behind schedule, but let's get into She-Hulk. She-Hulk, episode 7, The Retreat. Fresh off of 2 absolute stinkers, like just terrible episodes. I thought this one bounced back, but not like a full bounce back. Like a half a bounce back, if that's a thing.
Yeah, I mean-
it got some air under it, but it wasn't great.
Yeah.
It was better.
If that was the first filler episode,
Would have been
then
fine.
I'd be okay with it because it was funny. But
Yeah.
you can't just have 2 filler episodes and then another filler that just happens to be funny and expect me to say, oh, it's funny, so therefore it was a good episode. This is the 3rd filler now.
It is in a
Third
row.
filler in a row.
Yep.
Just that's what lost it for me a little bit. It was funny though.
It was. This one was funny. I will say that at least. I even mentioned the last couple of weeks. I actually haven't laughed as much as I did in the first 4. This one was very funny. Is it all a coincidence? Because now we're back to having another cameo appearance from Tim Roth as Abomination. I don't know, but
Need more Tim Roth.
dude, give me all the Tim, especially when it's him as Tim Roth. It's very funny. I like him as Abomination too, but he fucking cracked me up this week as just being like a therapist. He killed it, man.
Yep.
Did you check it out as well?
I did, yeah.
Yeah. What'd you think?
That was funny, yeah. I haven't been as harsh as you guys have the last couple weeks. Like,
Okay.
to me, it's more
That's
just
good
a
to hear.
sitcom. You know, like they aren't trying to make it a big. Like they admitted it wasn't about a big season-long story.
Yep.
It's just kind of like establishing who she is, and there might be some.
You're not wrong.
But this one was definitely better than it has been, and yeah, I love all the Tarantino stuff. So I love Roth.
Yeah.
He's
He's
hilarious.
fucking awesome in this role. I'm glad to have him back in the MCU. But like I said, better, but still not what I'm asking for. Yeah. Still no Daredevil. Like,
I don't know.
still no bad guy,
Yeah, no
really.
progress on the social media like threat people, whatever that
Nope.
that is. Yeah.
And we all now, like I said, this is episode 7. We only have 2 left, so it's like we're not gonna get any big quote unquote bad guy.
Right.
The Daredevil appearance I'm now is thinking is gonna be like 30 seconds, almost just like Spider-Man. I'm starting to think now.
Yeah.
He's just gonna pop in, just be
God,
like, "Hey,
that
what's
would
going
suck.
on?" and
Oh,
bounce.
no.
I'm telling you, I think that's what it's
Oh,
gonna be.
God, that'd
I
be
could be
awful.
wrong, but I'm very much starting to get that idea in my head now.
Damn.
And the expectations too for me, like I admit it. I see the Marvel intro and I immediately expect good expectations. My expectations are high. So when it's something that is like a filler or something, that's when I lose it a little bit. So I do blame myself for a lot of the high expectations and not being happy with the results.
Yep. Yeah, that Marvel music gets me every time too, man. It's not just you, buddy. Every single time
I expect
that
a banger
fucking thing
every
hits
single
in.
time
Yep.
that comes on. Like, it's a fucking banger every single time
Yep.
it comes on. So when it disappoints me,
Yep.
I'm extra mad.
Has the ability to even turn your day around. There's been a couple times where I'm
Yeah,
in a
I
bad
smile.
mood,
I
and all of a sudden,
smile.
I hear that music, and I'm like, "Fuck, all right, let's go, let's do this." You know what I mean? But all right, let's do this. Let's dive on in. We opened up, especially the beginning of this episode. This was the part that really dragged for me. The beginning of it, I didn't like. The opening, like 8 to 10 minutes, I thought was just crap. Second half of the episode was much better. We open up with like a dating montage. Basically, we find out that Jen has been seeing this guy that she met at the wedding, Josh. They've been going on a couple of dates now. Their relationship is progressing a little bit. At first, you see that he gets to the door. He kind of wants the kiss. She says no, no, no. They go on another day. Then you see, all right, not only are we kissing, we're having sex again. More sex in the MCU. You know what I mean?
It's canon.
Yeah, it's. We find out upon the next morning. We wake up. Josh is gone. She sends a text. Typical like, "Hey, that made me so happy. Can't stop smiling," sort of a thing. We see her mood progressively change. Say, I don't know. I think they say that's on like Thursday. We go to Friday. She's like just checking her phone constantly, but still kind of optimistic.
Yeah.
Saturday comes. She's still checking her phone. She's like fucking freaking out. Then Sunday comes. She's like full blown depression. You know what I mean? She's just been obsessed. On Sunday, though, I think it is Sunday. I'm pretty sure. On Sunday, she gets a call from Abomination's parole officer. Hey, Abomination, he's on, he's been allowed to leave, but he's got like one of those ankle bracelet kind of things. Bracelet got set off. I got to go head up there to check it out to see if everything's okay. But all the cops are kind of busy this week. So do you mind that Sunday, all the cops, they're hanging out with their families. Do you mind coming up with me because he's your client and also you're a Hulk?
Yeah.
Be nice to have that card just in case anything bad happens.
And you don't have a family.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Jen's like,
You're
you
single
think-
as fuck.
Yeah, so, yeah, that would have been great if even he was hitting her with that shit. I like that. Basically, like you said, though, she's like, "Yeah, I ain't got nothing going on."
Yeah.
So we head up to the retreat, and we're going to find out that basically Abomination's bracelet has just been like acting up. It's just been going haywire, whatever. You know what I mean? Everything's good. He hasn't done anything wrong. He's still doing the good guy thing. They fix the bracelet. Parole officer bounces. Jen's about to head out. She's talking to Abomination a little bit, Emil, whatever you want to call him. And we get introduced. She's about ready to leave. We get introduced to Man-Bull and the Matador, whose name is friggin' Al Aguilera, who's not a Matador.
Definitely not a matador.
Definitely not a Matador.
Yeah.
Right away, I was like, all right, this is funny to me. I'm in. What does he say? Is he a bucket swasher or something like that? Swashbuckler. There you go. Yeah. I'm not a Matador. He also mentions the fact like it'd be a cliche if him and the Man-Bull were hanging out because they'd be friends and you know what I mean. They kind of fight each other.
You know what too is I was looking it up. They said that the Man-Bull is a mutant as well.
Get the fuck out of town.
Yeah, I
you just
believe
made me
it.
spit out my drink.
It's not like they didn't talk about it in the show, but in reading some stuff afterwards, they basically said that the Man-Bull's like another
mutant?
another mutant. Yeah.
No way.
Yep.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Wow.
All right.
Like X-Men mutant?
Yeah.
Yeah, just another example of them just slowly bringing in more and more mutants into the MCU.
That's next. That's what we're
Wow.
getting. The mutants are on the way, baby. They're coming.
Huh.
But like I
makes
said,
sense because he's not wearing the rest of them are wearing costumes and stuff, and he looks like he's.
that's
like,
true.
you know what I
Actually,
mean? Like,
yeah.
he looks like
He's in like street clothes, if you want to call it street
Yeah,
clothes, and
right.
then he's still got like the huge horns
Yeah.
and shit. I think his nose is like pig shaped, or bull shaped,
Yeah.
whatever you want to
I
fucking
don't
call
think that's
it.
no mask. Like he just looks like a Man-Bull, but yeah, they said he's a mutant.
That's a good call. My brain fucking didn't even like think of that. That is a good fucking call.
That's good.
Yeah. But basically, these two guys are going to get into a little bit of a tussle, even though they're friends. They end up banging up Jen's Prius. So much to the point that
Not that hard to bang up a Prius, dude. You could you
Means
just
aluminum
lean against
foil.
it. Yeah, you can lean against it and damage the fucking thing.
it gets dinged up. So we got to have to get it repaired. While we're going to get it repaired, Jen's going to hang out at the retreat. She's going to hang out with Emil, Abomination, whatever you want to call him, like I said. First thing he brings her to is basically like a sauna, which I thought was pretty like a bathhouse looking sauna. He's like, you want to go for a spritz?
Sweat it out.
And she's like, nah, I'm good, thanks. She's just basically like on the hunt for fucking Wi-Fi, you know what I mean? She needs a desk, she needs fucking her phone. She says there's no service this place. They're completely cut off from the outside world. And Emil's kind of playing already. He's going to do it more, but we see him kind of doing the first little tidbits of him kind of playing the therapist role, which I thought was funny. He's like, he's like, I see, you're not like in a teachable mood, and I respect that. So I'm going to go, and if you change your mind, like, here's where you can find me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kind of like, he's like, I've been there, you know what I mean? I've gone through my days where I don't want to fucking learn. I've learned now. I've come out the other end, which I thought was pretty funny.
He seems totally reformed.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Yeah, I wasn't really buying it in the, when he was like chatting
At
with her.
first?
Yeah, like when they were getting ready for the trial.
Yeah.
Couldn't fully believe that he was
Playing the long
changed,
con.
but we'll see.
Yeah, no, it seems like, hey, he's got all these friggin' guys out here. Who knows what? He's teaching them up a little bit, trying to help him, just like, he was helped.
Yeah.
I love it. Him and Hulk, that's how, like, their story started, and they both found their chi, you know what I mean?
Right.
We see that Jen's basically going to go on, like, it's a little montage that lasted, like, a minute just to kill more time in this episode. Like I said, this episode was better, but a lot of wasted time. She's just going to walk around the whole facility trying to find service. She eventually finds it. She stumbles into a group meeting. We're in group session, group therapy time. This is where most of the episode took place, and it was also where the episode really started to take off and was very, 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 very funny. We're dealing when she walks in. She's like, "Hey, I'm just here to just to get service. Like, don't mind me. I'm not here to interrupt." So the retreat continues their conversation, and they're all worried about the Matador and his crisis identity, that he's not actually a Matador. You know what I'm saying? We find out that not only we have those two guys we already met in the group, Man Bull and the Matador, we also have a man who thinks he's a vampire, and then a man who thinks he's a porcupine, and he is in
That
a
was hilarious.
full porcupine costume. I don't know, dude. I don't know what the hell that thing was made out of. That thing was legit. Reminded me of like the gillied up suits from Call of Duty. That thing was legit.
Just picture all gillied up, just with porcupine spikes. Exactly what that was.
Fully committed.
Actually, Tim Roth tries to say, "Hey, we've been working on this to the porcupine guy. We've been talking about this. Maybe you should take that suit off." Not today. Not today.
No,
I don't feel good.
No, not today.
Then all of a sudden we have a new guy. A new guy walks in. He's also a little late to the meeting. He reminded me of friggin' Adam Sandler and Zohan. Don't mess with the Zoltan, or actually even Zoltan Mesko, friggin' the soccer player. If you're friggin' familiar with football,
Yeah.
That's what he reminded me of.
Headbutt to the chest guy.
No, that's
Zinedine.
It's a French guy. Yep,
Zidane.
Zidane Zidane. Zoltan's he's the big friggin' Swedish dude who scores a ton of goals. He played in the MLS for a little while.
I do remember the name. But...
Great soccer player. But he reminded me of him, the friggin' ponytail and all that ish. As soon as he walks in, Jen fucking turns into She-Hulk. She's like, "Yo, this actually was pretty funny." Breaks the fourth wall. She's like, "I hope they showed this guy on the fucking previously of She-Hulk." She's like, "You know what? Doesn't even matter. We're gonna do it right here." She's like, "Previously on this guy." So, nice. Turns out he was one of the guys that tried to attack her outside of her apartment on episode 3, I believe it was, the end of episode 3, that she ended up fighting off. It's one of him. But he, just like Tim Roth, completely reformed now, trying to talk it out. She-Hulk wants to kick his ass right away. She ends up kind of putting him down because the rest of the group's like, "Hey, chill out. Tim Roth puts her into the calming chair, into timeout, basically. Very funny.
Yep.
But the guy kind of, tells his side of the story. Like, I was being a bully and shit like that. I apologize for my whole role in the whole thing. Pretty damn funny. Then we see that Jen is worked up still. So Tim Roth's going to kind of push it a little bit. Jen Roth finally goes, "All right, I was fucking dating this guy. We slept together. Now I haven't talked to him in a few days." She starts telling the group the whole entire story. Starts even telling them about the text messages. The group's like, "You double texted?" Because it finds out after a couple days. On Sunday, she texted it after the first time. And she was like, "Hey, getting worried about you. You okay?" Giving her a hard time for the double text.
Yeah.
I thought all that shit was very, very funny.
Like,
Don't double text. Yeah, don't double text.
What was the other thing too? The guys, she didn't want to just come right out and say, like, it was right after we like slept together. She's like kind of like tiptoeing her way into it, and the guy goes, "Slept together," and she's like, "Ew, no." When we slept, wait, what is? No, she says when we slept together. What the hell does he say? Made love. That's what it is. Yeah. Yes. Thank you. Yes. He goes, "After you guys made love." She's like, "Ew, no, we slept together."
yeah. All about the words.
Yeah. was very funny.
Right.
But the guys are kind of, on her case a little bit, playing her hand wrong. Then she's going to go on a little monologue basically saying how since she's turned into the She-Hulk, now she has this ability to basically be like the popular one at any given time. She doesn't know now who likes her for actually being Jen, who likes her for being She-Hulk. And it seemed like this guy actually liked her for being Jen because they met at the wedding. She was Jen. He never really saw her as She-Hulk until the very end of the wedding. But it seemed like, he actually liked her for her. They went on all the dates together. She was Jen. And she felt like she was, finally accepted, basically, for the first time in a while. Because obviously when she was doing the dating profiles and stuff as Jen, she wasn't getting any hits. The hits that she was getting, they were all miserable. Right. Finally, something goes right. And now it blew up in her face. And the guys, in perfect fashion, are like, all right, let's go kick his ass.
Yeah, something's wrong here.
I loved it right away. The Matador shoots lightning into the sky with his sword. He's like, all right, let's go kick this guy's fucking ass. You know what I mean? This whole, I think he says this whole group is now officially against Josh. But I was like, all right, this whole thing I thought was fucking very funny. The guys are all Team Jen. You know what I mean?
She's got her own Avengers.
Yep. And then they convince her to, they're like, hey, we accept you for you. You know what I mean? This whole time she's still been in She-Hulk form since the Zoltan showed up. She's been kind of upset on her god. And they talk her down. They're like, hey, why don't you become Jen for us? You know what I mean? Because we accept both of you, and she does. And it's very therapeutic for her. She's all happy and shit. Yeah. And then now they're kind of like, all right, let's do the next step. Let's delete his number. And she's like, I don't know about all that. And then all of a sudden the chant starts, delete it, delete it, delete it, delete it. Sure enough, she ends up giving into the peer pressure of the group, deletes his number, feels even better after that. Now what is it time for? A spritz. Let's go hit the sauna.
Yeah.
They go to the sauna. All the guys, I love it. They're all waiting. It looks like I bet you they waited the whole 20 minutes. They didn't move from there, it seemed like. They all waited the whole time while she was in there. They're just waiting on the grass, just waiting for her to come out, like it's fucking prom night or whatever. She's waiting for her to see her dress. She comes out feeling like $1 million. She's a whole new woman. The group loves it. You know what I mean? This whole sequence, I thought was very, very, very funny.
It was funny, yeah.
But at the same time, too, that the porcupine guy takes off his mask, too.
Oh, yes, that's right, yes.
Wicked bad.
That's right.
Oh, no. How long have you had that on?
Yeah, that's right. Jen switching down the sides almost kind of gave him the push he needed to take off his own mask, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then turns out he's all ashy, smells like shit. That was very funny, too.
He was hip. What am I, ashy?
Yeah. But that's kind of basically for the most part where we're going to wrap up. Jen's going to say bye to the retreat, say bye to the boys. I'll never forget you guys. And then the episode ends with a flashback. We go back to the very first night of the episode Thursday, I believe it is. And we see that Josh, at night when she was asleep, he basically made a copy, a scan of her phone onto his phone so that he can see her texts or whatever, I'm assuming, stuff like that. He also takes a photo of her, very, very creepy and stalker-esque while she's sleeping. Mm-hmm. And then he sends a text message to the Hulk King, whoever the fuck that is. Right. And it says basically blood, serum, thumbs up. So last week, I was kind of jokingly saying, I was like, hey, this guy seems to like Jen for Jen. Maybe he probably wants her blood because we know someone's out to get her blood. I was right. I just threw that into the fucking wind, and it turns out that's exactly what he was there for. It was a steal of blood. Who was he working for? Who was Hulk King? No idea. Any thoughts?
I mean, Kingpin's still supposed to be in here, right?
He is.
I mean, that's really the only one I can think of.
Running out of time. Gotta get on it. Gotta be.
2 episodes.
That could lead into Daredevil too, so that could get both of them in there. I mean, you got to think it's Kingpin. Hulk King, maybe Kingpin.
He can't be threatened
like that
by She-Hulk though. Does he just want her technology of her blood kind of thing?
Well, we found out that it's as simple. Apparently, it's as simple as just getting some Hulk blood into your blood and basically transforming you into a Hulk. So I could see why that would be a valuable commodity. You know what I mean?
Right. But also, hers was compatible or whatever, though, right? Like because she had the same genes or whatever.
How did Josh get the blood though? You know what I mean? If they were sleeping together.
True point. I didn't want to think about the grossness of it. I could think of some ways, but I think MCU wanted to skip out on that one. But yeah, no, I totally hear that. What do you do? Like inject her while it takes some blood while she was asleep? You know what I mean? That's kind of a fucking weird move.
Drug her and
yeah.
Anyway, you do it. It's messy.
Yeah.
Crossing some lines.
I like that they just skipped that part of the episode. We just go, all right, we have our blood. Yeah. Thank you. I'm good.
Got it.
That's all I needed.
Yeah.
That's all I needed to know. We're good. But like I said, 2 episodes left. You know what I mean? we're obviously not going to get any big story arching stuff. We're going to get a Deadpool cameo. We're going to get a Kingpin cameo. And how big we will see. Better episode. Still not great.
Would have been better if the last two weren't shit.
Yeah, if this was episode 5, then it would
Yep.
have been a different story. You know what I mean? I would have been like, all right, yeah, this was fine. This was good. You know what I mean? But any closing thoughts from any of you guys before we move on?
No, like I said, I mean, as long as I would like to see the Hulk King be something of value. Like I said, whether it's Kingpin or somebody else.
Have to imagine it'll be this week, right? I mean,
Yeah,
you gotta wait for week 9.
Yeah, you got to get right into it. I think, or maybe at the end of next episode, the way it's going.
Yeah.
The way they're dragging it on. So I don't know. I'd like to see something with some value in the next episode.
Yeah.
Hoping for some action and some higher stakes.
We need, like, an actual
it's-
She-Hulk
It's been
fight.
like ruining my day at the wedding. you know?
Yeah.
Let's get some higher stakes.
She hasn't fought anybody really beside actual Hulk in the first episode. Like, come on, let's, fight somebody. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Vibranium or whatever her name was useless.
Titania. Yeah, she
Titania,
stunk. Yeah,
Useless.
she stunk. Yeah. But, I'm sure the finale will probably be a few minutes, probably like 10 minutes longer or 2 or something like that. Usually they are a little bit longer for the finale. So, who knows? I don't know. We'll see. I'll still be there on Thursday, but I'll tell you, my expectations have definitely gone down. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, gotta.
I really enjoyed the first 4 episodes, but yeah, it's tailored off. Again, no end credit too. Again, 3rd week in a row, no end credit.
No, even if that was the end credit, like Josh Getty the Blood or something was the end, or saying, you know what I mean, like uploading.
Yeah,
that or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
If that was the end credit scene, they could have easily done.
I don't get why you would do it for 4 weeks and then stop. It's like
Yeah.
you're setting. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? If you do it for 1 week and then stop, fine. You're just doing it because it's the premiere. I get it, fine.
Yeah.
But you're doing it for 4 weeks. It's like,
I told you, it seems like the same thing. It's like they didn't know that they could make these many episodes. Yeah, so they were just like, oh man, like we got to scramble now.
let's dive into the Rings of Power. Which, while this episode was an absolute banger, there was a lot of battling, so hopefully we can get through it somewhat quickly and dive into House of the Dragon, because we don't want to be here for 3 hours. Rings of the Power, episode 6, Udin, entitled. First real taste of, like, actual fucking action in this show. So
We're going to war.
we were, yeah. We're going to war. We've mentioned it already a little bit in the previous episodes. Not your friggin' mom and dad's Lord of the Rings. This episode, again, I think did that.
Yeah, cemented it for sure.
Right?
Yeah.
The violence level, the blood and guts level, all taken up a notch a bit from
For sure.
your typical Lord of the Rings stuff.
I like it.
Which I like, yeah. I'm all for it, man. Give it to me. You know
You're
what
gonna
I
do
mean?
these battles, especially these big battles. Yeah, that's the perfect way to do it.
You gotta set some real stakes, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? There's no better way to do that than killing some people.
Yeah, exactly. Seeing some orc blood fly all over the place.
Exactly. If you want me to get attached to these people, I have to feel like they're actually in jeopardy. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Which is why Boromir's death at the end of the Fellowship of the Ring hit so fucking hard. And Gandalf's death also
Yep.
in Moria in the first movie. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Both those hit because you just meet these Fellowship. You're going, even then, it's only like 2 hours and then 3 hours, but you've already got like attached to these people a little bit.
for sure.
And then they die, and you're like, oh my God, like anybody can die. You know what I'm saying? You don't know who can be next.
Good point.
You know what I'm saying? So, but like I
Same
said,
with Thrones, losing key people
Yep.
all the time. Yeah.
Yep. Thrones, man, that's takes it to a whole new level, man. You never know anybody at fucking and the main characters can die. No one's safe in Thrones, man.
Yeah.
But I thought this was probably I think this is probably my favorite episode.
Yeah, I fucking love this episode.
Keeps getting
Yeah?
better. Yeah.
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 The last 3 have been the 3 best, probably. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Show's
yeah.
blowing away my expectations.
The only thing that was a bit of a downer. Oh yeah. I think it's blown away a lot of people's expectations.
Blowing away my expectations.
Yep. And dude, we mentioned it already, but nobody is talking about this show. Everywhere I go, everyone's asking me about House of the Dragon. What'd you think of this week's episode of House of the Dragon? What'd you think of this week's House of the Dragon? I have yet to have anybody ask me about Rings of Power. And that's all people ask me about because they know that's all I'm interested about. You know what I mean? There's no small talk with me. Just ask me about what's on TV. That's what I want to talk about. But like, I feel like no one's talking about it,
Yeah.
man.
I got one guy
That's
from
true.
work that I'm going back and forth with a little bit.
Yeah?
Like, he said the same thing. Like it was like Saturday, I think, is when he watched the episode after I was done, and he was like, same thing. Dude, I don't know if you saw that episode, but that was a fucking awesome episode.
Banger.
Yep, the same thing. Like, show's blown away his expectations. Yeah, the show's awesome.
Hey man, when you put that much money into a product and you have a world that's already kind of established, you have Amazon.
You got
know
the
what I mean?
crowd. You know, you already got the Lord of the Rings fans before. So,
Yep.
Yeah.
It's hard to miss, especially like I said, when you spend that much money, man. You know what I mean? You'd have to just be totally incompetent to just miss.
But they also just had like the vibe of Lord of the Rings. That just,
Definitely.
I don't know. That's what I was not expecting them to pull off. Was just making it.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah,
you know, like
yeah.
They actually are pulling it off. It fits in with the rest of the content, and they're doing awesome.
Definitely. Let's dive in. We are going to open up, and we're going to see that Adar is planting some seeds, and he says, "In death there is new life." And it seems like this is some kind of almost like a ritual, custom kind of a thing, something like that. But we see that he's doing it almost in hiding. He's like behind a tree, not in front of his, because he goes right to his orc army after that. You know what I'm saying? So it seems like this might be something from almost past life, not past life, but olden day kind of a thing, from when he was probably a regular elf kind of a thing, something like that. He's going to give a little speech to his army of orcs. They're going to be getting ready to march on Ostirith. I learned the name of it this week. I kept saying it was just like Osgiliath, but I couldn't figure it. Ostiliath. Figured it out. We got it. They're getting ready to march. First time he mentions that this is the first time that the orcs are not going to be marching into battle as slaves, but as brothers and sisters. And I was just like, brothers and sisters? I was like, this girl orcs? I was like, ew. That's gross.
They look like, yeah.
Yeah, I was just like, I don't know the difference between them, but I was just like, I don't think any of them I've seen have been girls. I'm like, that's gross.
I missed that. Yeah.
I don't want to see fucking.
Do they all just look like dudes? But
maybe
they're
yeah. I don't know.
We've all been at a bar at closing time at 2 in the morning. We've definitely seen some female orcs somewhere down the line in our life.
But he's getting the orcs riled up, and then they started chanting. The orcs started chanting Nampot, which I fucking was like, all right, what does that mean? Thankfully, we have the internet nowadays. Hit that Google search. Black tongue for death. Chanting death, basically. Death. I was like, that's
planting
pretty.
the seeds of death.
Even that, though, I was like, all right, that's a little darker, you know what I mean? These fucking orcs are just chanting death kind of a thing.
Yeah.
But they're all ready to friggin' go. We see the army's going to start fucking basically marching on in. We see that the old man clearly did the deed. We didn't see him do it, but he clearly killed Theo's bitch friend there with the bowl cut. He's like right behind Adar. I would assume like, all right, you're accepted, but like get to the back of the line kind of a thing. You know what I mean? You're still just peasants. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No, apparently,
he's up there.
yeah, apparently murdering that kid gets you some high friggin' nobility. You know what I mean?
I mean, at least the people that came with him follow him. It seemed like. So
Yeah,
At the very
true.
least, he's
Brought him
useful.
to the Yep. But right away I noticed, I was like, oh wow, this guy's getting some respect, and I'm on team. He's gonna be a fucking Nazgul. I'm fully committed to it. So
Yeah, I can see it.
they get to the town. Seems like the whole town is fucking deserted, basically. You know what I mean? And Adar is going to see what we saw last week, but it's basically the same hilt sword, and the it's like dug into the whole mountainside. It's kind of like engulfed in the cement, the rock kind of a thing. Also, you see kind of like Sauron's helmet, it looks like, is also kind of cemented into it. The old man literally like takes it upon himself to notice it and go, hey, like, whatever happened to that dude? And of course, Orc just fucking interrupts the conversation, so we can't find out what. You know what I mean? Just typical fashion.
Yep.
But fucking Adar's like, I don't care if we can't find him. They're here. Just keep looking. I can smell. He literally says, I can smell the elf, basically referring to Arondir. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then Arondir is going to be like, all right, you fucking can smell me? Fine. He fucking pops out. You just see him by himself for a second. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? This is your whole attack. It's just you. He's just doing the elf thing, doing the Legolas
10
thing.
booby traps.
Very cool. Fucking knocking down dudes left of the other.
Yeah.
Dives off the fucking tower, slides on down, blows up basically the whole fucking tower, and has
that
it
scene with the tower.
crumbling.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Awesome. Great game plan.
Yeah, he was ready to sacrifice himself too. That was not a guaranteed plan.
Definitely.
He was
Yep.
ready to risk
Willing
it all.
to, yeah. He made him know that he cares about these people, and he's willing to fight for them. He's willing to die for them. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But like I said, awesome look. Fucking tower fucking blowing on up and shit. Fucking comes crumbling down on all the orcs and shit. And then we kind of see Arondir escapes. He's making his way down to like the little village, and we see the village that's where all of our whatever you want, civilians, townsfolk,
Yeah.
they're all in the village, and they're like, all right, now good start.
I think that was their cue almost.
Yeah,
You know?
good start. Now we just got to defend this village, basically. You know what I mean? Because we probably didn't kill all of them, which is a good assumption. Hard to kill everybody. You know what I mean?
Right.
So there's probably going to be a second wave coming in eventually. But let's prepare for this next attack. But so far, so good. You know what I mean? So far, so good. I love seeing Arondir doing the Legolas thing. I love this dude. He's just one after the other, fucking just banging out guys. And then even like the dive out of the tower, like you said, just the same kind of movement, just so swift, just like Legolas does. Fucking elves are so
Clever.
cool, man.
Yeah,
So
clever move.
freaking cool.
Like, what was his position? He was just like a regular, like,
He was a watch. So they
policeman, basically.
Yeah. They established watchtowers all along like the Southlands and everything like that, just to be on guard of any ill doing, orcs coming back, stuff like that.
He just seems pretty elite. I wasn't sure if he actually is elite for elves or if just all elves are that cool.
True. He does seem though like he's actually pretty old too. Like we never find out exactly how old Legolas is, but I remember like say last week when he was showing Theo how to use the bowl, it said it took him centuries to learn how to master it. So it's kind of like, all right, so you're not just some young buck. Like you've been around. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's been watching this town in particular. I think they said for 78 years. You know what I'm saying? So this guy's been doing some work.
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's good context. I didn't hear that line about the couple centuries.
Oh yeah. That was from that was last week's episode when he
So-
was trying to work Theo in a little bit.
So it probably means he's less than 1,000 years old.
Yeah,
But-
I would say so.
But whereas Galadriel's
500,
probably
something
like
like that.
thousands of years old, right?
I would say so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like she's been on the hunt for hundreds of years. So you're talking pre all of that. Yeah, I'd
Seems
say
like
so.
I wish I knew that one a little bit better, but it does seem like because she was before the first sunrise is that first episode. So
Right. So
as old as anybody.
Yeah. Yep. Nope. Definitely. I would definitely say thousands. I think you're right. From there, we're going to see the Númenóreans. They're on the seas. They are heading for Middle Earth. It's like the middle of the night. Isildur can't sleep. He's going to make his way up to the top of the ship. And he's going to have a little conversation with Galadriel, which I actually really liked. Galadriel's been very hard-ass this whole show. This scene, a little bit looser, a little bit gentler kind of thing. You know what I mean? She kind of comes up on him. She's like, hey, like, you out here to try and get the first glimpse of land? And he's like, yeah. And she's like, oh, you'll see it about an hour or so. And he's just like, can you already see it? And she's just like, oh, yeah, since the friggin' sun fucking set fucking last night. You know what I mean? And he says, keen of the eyes of the elves, which I know you've read the Lord of the Rings books. That is a direct quote from the books. Aragorn says that to Legolas. When they're hunting down the orcs that take Merry and Pippin, when they're like in the Rohan and fucking Legolas, like I think they say it's like, I think they say it's 50 leagues or 500 leagues away. He's able to see the Uruk-hai.
There's a scene like that in the movie too.
Yeah. There is a yes. I don't know if they use the same quote though, but as soon as I said it, I was like, oh, I know. I've read that exact line before, and I just literally like put it in quotes and Googled it, and it came right up. You know, it said like the two towers, fucking da da da. Yeah, I know I've read those words before because I always have the subtitles on for everything and shit. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, yeah, that's exactly what it was. He says it to Legolas after he spots out the Uruk-hai that they're tracking. You know what I'm saying?
Cool. I like those heightened senses, like the super listening by Elrond earlier in the season, and super sight, obviously.
Very, very cool.
Yep.
We're going to find out that Isildur's mother drowned at sea. I don't know if there's more to that, but I found it weird that they mentioned it at all, kind of. I didn't feel like that was something they would just throw in there for nothing. I don't know if that'll come back into play or something like that, but we'll see. And then we find out that they are about 1 day sail from landing on land, and then another day's ride. So about 2 days out in total from Ostirith, where the battle is currently going on in the Southlands. So about two days away.
Yeah.
We're going to see from there a scene that I just thought was wildly dumb, especially because he's my guy and I've been defending Arendelle like crazy. He's trying to just break the hilt with a hammer. I'm like, come on, dude. Come on, man. You're an elf. Yeah, you're a smart guy. You've been alive for hundreds of years. You're full of wisdom.
Yeah.
You think you're going to break this hilt with a fucking hammer? You think it's that easy? Come on.
It's like you got to try at least, I guess.
Yeah. No shot is right. I mean, at least maybe a special hammer.
Right, yeah.
Maybe a hammer with some mythical powers forged from a special mountain that the dwarves made. Maybe.
One that you found laying on the ground, probably not going to get it done.
Exactly. Just a fucking little hammer that just fell on the ground, the regular bond. You know what I'm saying? That ain't going to do it. But they said, all right, we can't break this thing. We're going to have to hide it. Okay. Let's find out where we're going to hide it. We see that Ostirith is still preparing for the war. They are covering all those tunnels that the orcs have been using to get around. They're like putting planks, boards, cement rocks on top of them and shit like that. And then they tell us, the viewer, that they're going to have to lure the enemy all the way into the town again before they spring their attack. And as soon as I heard this, as I was watching it, I was just like, I don't know, Cotton. I was like, that's what you just played. I was like, that's like the hand you literally just played. You just lured them into town to drop the tower on them. I was like, I don't know if they're just going to come charging in again. I was like, to me, I would be on the wary for something like that after you just pulled it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The guerrilla warfare kind of deal.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's a good point.
You're dumb enough to fall for the same trick, like right after, you know what I mean? Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. I mean, other way around. Fool me, shame on you. Shame me once, shame on me. But I don't know, that quick?
I know. No, that's a good point. And to be fair, that it didn't really work.
It didn't. Yeah, we're gonna find out. We're gonna see that they're gonna keep all the people that can't fight in the center of town. This little tavern, basically gonna be a last desperate call for a keep, basically kind of thing. We're gonna see that. That's where Theo is gonna be basically positioned up. You know what I mean? He's not gonna be on the outside. Yeah, reluctant. Yep. His mom kind of said, he says, I can fight. And Mom's like, yeah, I know. That's exactly why you're gonna be in here. You're the last defense. You're the last line. You know what I mean?
Which is like the thing you tell the kid to like make him feel better about the shitty job he has to do. You know?
Definitely. Yep. I'd have to agree.
But she's protecting him.
Yep.
Yeah.
He has held his own against a couple of orcs already to this point, though. He's shown that he can
For sure.
handle his own a little bit.
There were a couple older looking dudes in there too. You could have been on the battlefield. I feel like there was some guys just like says like some generic statement, and I was thinking to myself like when he was on the screen, I was like, why aren't you on the battlefield? Like, yeah, you're a little bit on the older side, but
I got a bad shoulder.
yeah, he's like Grandpa Joe in it, like lying in bed until something good happens, then he just fucking spries out of bed. I was looking at the guy like, I don't know, you could have been out there. I feel like.
Yeah, I definitely hear you. There was a few older guys out there though that did the deed for the town. Arendir's going to give a little rah-rah speech again, kind of lackluster. It wasn't bad, better than Bronwyn's.
Got to work on that one.
They do. I don't know if it's the show or the show writers or if it's something intentional. I'm not sure, but we got to up these war speeches a little bit. They're a little lackluster.
I thought Adon's was pretty good.
What was it?
Aiden or Adon, whatever his name is. His was pretty good.
His was the best one.
Yeah,
for the bad guys
his
too.
was good.
You know what I mean? Yeah, serving a purpose. You know what I mean? Showing how far we've come to where we are now. You know what I mean? Arondir, kind of, it wasn't terrible. Yeah, you know what I mean? If you guys fucking do your deed in the morning, you'll see the sun rise again. I was like, all right. Ended on a high note kind of thing, I guess.
They're saving the good shit for you.
Yeah, maybe they are. Maybe they're saving the good ones. They
got some Helm's Deep sized battles coming.
Yeah.
For sure.
Definitely, even then, though, he's saying, see the sunrise the next morning, asking a lot out of these fucking commoners, basically. Because I'm not going to lie, this squad of theirs is not exactly looking very strong.
For sure.
We're going to see that before the battle's going to kick off, Arondir is going to give some of the same seeds that we saw at the beginning of the episode with Adar to Bronwyn. And he's actually going to say basically the exact same thing. Like, in death, there is new life. Seems like now, like I said, it seems like there was some little bit of hidden purpose when Adar did it. It seems like that might be the connection. Maybe it's like an old elvish ritual. So maybe Adar's holding on to a little bit of his old life, it being an elf kind of a thing. You know what I mean? He gives a couple of the seeds to Bronwyn, says, plant them after us, one for me, one for you. But I just thought that was interesting. They're gonna actually also here, they're gonna have their first affectionate moment, which we knew there was some feelings there. It's been very obvious, but they finally start doing a little kissy.
There we go. That's the action we're waiting for.
Battlefield just gets the blood flowing.
Yeah. Gotta do it now before we die, right?
Those seeds are probably the same as the tree that's growing in Durin's house, right?
Oh, yeah, that would make sense.
Same thing that Elrond gave to him.
Seeds from Elrond, elves. Yeah, so these got to be some kind of an elvish seed.
Yeah, which was the tree that is the tree of life thing, I think. Right? There's like seedlings of there.
Is it?
I think
Same seeds?
I think so.
No shit.
I think so.
That could be very interesting. I noticed that like
we
that
need
very,
Ledoux.
very
We need
white.
Ledoux. I need that lore from Ledoux.
Yeah.
I think so.
I noticed that like that pure white and stuff like that, but you knew right away when they opened with Adar that there was something more to it than, you know what I mean? I feel like they wouldn't have just showed that for no reason. Now we're seeing them again.
Right.
So got to be some kind of an elvish custom kind of a thing. You know what I mean?
Or the evil version of the tree of life, like some big.
Yeah, maybe. Like you said, they finally have a little romantic moment. Finally, though, Arondir and Bronwyn before the battle comes, and now we're gonna go to the actual battle scene, the battle sequence. Yeah, definitely very intense. It's Ostirith. We're at nighttime, and things get set off. Basically, They have a bunch of like we said, we want to lure them in, so they're basically planned off in all little areas, basically kind of hiding, waiting to spring our attack. One of the orcs who's kind of searching out, like, all right, where is everybody? He's kind of searching this area over here. He gets too close to Bronwyn, and Bronwyn's basically going to set things off. She's going to fucking stop battling with this orc. He, like I said, we mentioned earlier, more violence, slits whoever's with Bronwyn, some random, just slits their throat. Oh, shit. Throat slit.
Yeah. Intense again for Lord of the Rings.
Dunzo.
Yeah.
But then Bronwyn's going to take care of her own, handle her shit. She's gonna take this dude down, and then sets like a cart ablaze, basically, and fucking sets it off towards the orcs. Fucking nice little bing bang boom firework kind of a thing. We see Arandir just fucking raining down bows all over the place. The orcs right away start making their way for the tavern. They're like, all right, I don't know how they knew, but maybe it seems like that's the middle of the place. Like, this has got to be where all the fucking old people are.
So at least where their hole is, where they can go.
Yeah.
Dive back underground if they need to.
Got one of those. Oh yeah, there you go. Maybe that was it too. They have a big old battering ram. You know what I mean? So they're getting ready to fucking take down this fucking door. And right as they get to it, all the fucking commoners, all from the commoners from Austerith, come rushing on out. And we get a nice little fucking old people, like Seth said, some Grandpa Joes.
Get out there.
Fighting against some fucking orcs.
Oh.
Yeah, I can walk. Grandpa Joe springs out of bed. I can walk. I'm ready to fight.
Ticket ass motherfucker.
His arms. Work again.
I noticed that they all had spears. I was like, that's a good idea. If they're older people, they're slow. They might not have some, but at least now they have reach. You know what I mean? Let's give them the fucking ability to just... So they kind of start fucking handling their own. They're doing pretty good.
Arthritis wouldn't be good with the bow and arrows. You know what I mean? I can't shoot a bow well.
Probably can't even pull a bow back. Friggin' feeble arms, not going to be able to handle it. We see that fucking Arandir is going to get mixed up with a big-ass motherfucker.
Scary.
Fucking giant, dude. Dude was mean.
Ruthless.
Fucking just like, I don't know if he was just a giant in his past life, a fucking 7 foot tall dude or what, man, but
Seemed like one of the Urukai guys, right?
but he didn't have like the face like the Urukais did,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But had like the builds, yeah. Maybe like the first Envisions and stuff. We're gonna have some more Urukai references coming real fucking soon, so.
Yeah, he was huge. He was 7 footer plus.
Easily,
tossing.
Because he made Arandir look like a child. He was slinging him around the joint. Fucking gave him a nice old ass whipping.
Yeah. Blood all over him.
Yeah. Arandir like fights him off for like half a second. Is able to stab a little blade. It looks like a little knife, like right into his eye. Mm-hmm. Dude's not even phased. Fucking is like literally like choking the fucking life out. Actually, no, I'm sorry, he's not choking the life out. He's got a knife ready to fucking press right into him.
And bleeding all over his face.
Yeah. Arandir like grabs the knife, twists it, starts bleeding like right into his mouth. Just fucking
gross looking blood, like dark blood.
Yeah,
too.
black. Yep,
Like,
orcs
it was
get
like
black blood.
Yeah, it was like mud.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, the orc's black blood fucking dripping into his mouth and shit. Fucking gross.
Nasty.
He's not looking good though. They did this scene longer than most of these other scenes. This is something that we've seen in other movies and shows and stuff where someone comes to his aid and stuff like in the last moment. But this one I felt like really held on for a second, which almost built up the end. I was like, oh shit, like is he actually gonna fucking die for? Yeah, exactly. I was like, hang on, this is lasting a long time. Is he gonna die right now?
Right.
But nope. Turns out Bronwyn's gonna fucking come, save his ass, fucking stabs the orc like right through the fucking face.
Yep.
More blood all over fucking Arandir. Like now he's really got blood in his mouth. I was like, ugh, disgusting. I hope they didn't kiss then. You know what I mean? I was like, let's save that for later. You know what I mean? But it turns out we fucking the townies, the commoners, basically were able to do their job, like Arandir said. Arandir and Bronwyn just took down this big dude. We're all hyped up. We're like, yeah, we did it. We fucking won. We're all hyped up. Next thing you know, we start kind of looking at some of the bodies, and we're like, wait, what the fuck is going on? Look, a lot of the people that we just killed, some were orcs, but it turns out, like I said, Adar just fell into a trap once with the tower. He was on his god this time. He's like, I just got all these new fucking regular humans to my fucking cause. Let's use them. Put them in disguise, sent them on in, and they were basically fighting their own neighbors from a couple of weeks ago. Yeah. They just fucking put them all down. Yeah.
Brutal.
Yeah. Tough.
Surprised that they were that dedicated to like stay disguised and all that, but
yeah, show that they weren't just fucking around.
Pop the helmet off. Hey.
Like, hey. Like, they sent us.
Hey, especially after they knocked down the tower, like, you know what? things are going pretty good for you guys. We changed our minds. We want to come back to your side.
We aren't as scared as we were before. We got a chance.
We just had wine like 2 weeks ago. Like, remember me? We had a nice night, remember?
I bought you guys drinks.
You were at my kid's birthday. But like I said, it turns out they were killing a lot of their own kinds. Sad little moment. And then the orcs have been watching this whole time. All right, now they're going to start raining down fire. Now they set a little bit of an ambush of their own, it kind of seems like. You know what I mean? They got all the town people out in the open now. Mm-hmm. We know where they're all hiding and stuff because they just rained down fire on all these people that we didn't give a shit about. Now we know where they are. Now let's hit them. Bing, bang, boom. They start firing in. We see Bronwyn takes a fucking arrow, like, right almost to the heart. A little bit to the left of the heart. But not looking good. It seems like I thought Bronwyn was done. This is
even gross
we're gonna
too.
Find out,
the way they took the arrow out was even gross too for fucking Lord of the Rings standards.
Yeah. You're not kidding. Actually, no, that's where we stay. I'm sorry, I keep forgetting that we're kind of here for the whole episode. No, no Durin, no Elrond, no Harfoots.
That's what makes it a good episode.
Yeah,
like universally, I feel like our favorite storylines are those, and it
true.
No mention.
Combine the two.
That's a good point.
Still an awesome episode.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Combine the C and the D storylines. And Rain with it. Yeah.
That's a good point. So like I said, Bronwyn's been hit by an arrow. We snap it off. We're gonna fucking pull it on out, and then we're gonna use these seeds again. Third time now. We're gonna see these seeds again. These same seeds that Arondir gave it a plant. The same ones that Adar planted. He's gonna use these seeds after he pulls out the arrow. And he's going to friggin' just smudge them right on into the wound. And then Theo with a burning piece of wood is going to, kind of heal the wound, kind of just close it up, melt the flesh.
God, that's going to hurt so fucking bad.
Ugh.
Oh, that's going to hurt so fucking bad.
And going to leave a nasty scar.
Yeah, you need something that's like, in other movies and
though.
stuff, like give them something to bite on when that happens. Like, you need something to fucking...
They did it with just like a plank of wood too. It seemed like that's
it wasn't
that's
even like
not
hot
clean.
metal or anything. Yeah, right.
That's not sterilized.
Now it's infected too. Yeah, what the fuck?
Thankfully, we just smudged a whole bunch of these seeds that are hopefully magic elvish shit in there, so maybe we don't have to worry about infections. But
hopefully they're not just flammable. Good. Hopefully there's some magic. Yeah. This isn't just gunpowder seeds. They're magic. Don't worry.
Yeah. So we're gonna, kind of heal up her wounds and such, and then fucking we see that the orcs are closing on in, and they're gonna just basically break right on into this tavern. Arondir fights off like two of them for 2 seconds before they grab Bronwyn, they grab Theo, and Arondir's like, all right, fuck, I guess I'm screwed here. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But we see that fucking these orcs are gonna fucking just start like stabbing fucking people just like one by one, you know what I mean? Like fucking Adar comes kind of in and fucking he's kind of asking some information and shit like that, like, hey, where's the hilt? Arondir's like, I'm not telling you, obviously, you know what I mean? And they're like, all right, that's no problem, we'll just start stabbing people one by one, like, not a problem, like. And again, this is where I was like, this is not your regular Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I
was like, we're just gutting like commoners right now. I'm like, this is violent. You know what I mean? And then basically after a few of these guys die, Adar is gonna go, all right, woman's next, Bronwyn's next, and that's when Arondir's finally like, all right, actually no, I'm sorry, it's not Arondir, Theo.
Right.
Theo is the one who's like, all right, stop, I'll tell you where the hilt is. Apparently, he must have followed Arondir because he's the one that went and hit it. So Theo must have been doing a little Snoopy stalker move, you know what I mean, to follow him and figure out where he did with it. But basically, he's going to fucking tell him where it is. And then fucking we hear the horses start rumbling. Oh, shit. It's been 2 days.
Yeah.
So Numenor, the Numenorians and Galadriel have arrived just in time, as always. We're in a bad situation. We're all getting captured, basically. And we see a very cool thing that I've never seen in Lord of the Rings, or really many of other things. The first two Numenorians that are the head of the pack, they have a chain like spread across them, and they use it just to fucking clothesline like fucking 30 orcs. I was like, that's genius. Imagine like two horses galloping at like 35, 40 miles an hour, and a fucking metal chain just rips your head or your neck or something like that. Ouch.
Yeah.
Fucking ouch.
You know what they've done too a couple of times, and I don't know, I can't recall really in any other movie or whatever show is like I think it did with Galadriel. She's like riding on the side of the horse.
Yes.
When there's like arrows or whatever, a spear, and like I feel like they've done that a couple of times, and it's an awesome looking scene.
Yeah.
Whenever they do it every single time.
Very acrobatic.
Yeah.
She's fucking parkouring on a goddamn horse to dodge
Very
some arrows.
creative. Like I said, I can't recall ever seeing that in anything else. Like
Yep.
I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, I think she did that twice in this, right?
Yeah.
As on this charging. Very, very, very cool looking. Like, yeah, very parkour on the horse.
Yeah, similar to like the Dothraki doing all their like standing on the horses and
Yep.
similar like kind of dodging on the sides. So.
Good call, actually.
Yeah.
Very good call. Good call.
Horse lords.
Yep. So we said Numenor's, showing up. Galadriel, like we said, doing that thing. We got a chain gang going. We see the Rock and Mankind are here. My favorite my favorite tag team. They're here. They're doing their thing. Mankind's in a fucking get in a bad situation though. Fucking orcs on top of them, fucking hammering with them with the sword. No worries though. The Rock's gonna come in and save the day.
Can you smell?
Those two guys, I love them just for that reference. I love them. We see that Isildur is kind of over outside of the battle on the outskirts with the queen and kind of like the queen's guard kind of a thing. You know what I mean? I don't know if he got that job because he's the shit cleaner on the ship, but they didn't want him in there. I don't know. But you can see he's like itching to get into the fight. Queen sees it too. She says, all right, go on, get in there. Go get some. You know what I mean? So he goes,
get some. Go get some.
he charges in, and hey, of course, just like always in Lord of the Rings, it was the perfect time because his dad was just getting into a bad predicament as Isildur was charging on in. He was getting outnumbered. A bunch of orcs fucking took down his horse, took him right off of it. He lost his ride. His dad was in some trouble. Isildur rides in perfectly, saves his ass. You know what I mean? So their relationship keeps getting better and better. And then Galadriel, she rides up on Arondir. Their first little conversation, if you even want to call it that, it just lasted 2 seconds, but elf with elf, opposite sides of the map the whole show. And Galadriel's like, yo, where's the commander? Arondir goes, Adar, that guy right there. He's gallivanting off. But
Can't
right as he
escape with the thingy.
Yep, right as he gallivanting off, though, we see that he fucking hands well, we don't see it, but he's got the hilt in his hand. And he's getting ready to hand it to the old man. And he goes to the old man, hey, I got a mission for you. But then Galadriel comes fucking riding on in. And he's like, oh, shit. Never mind. I'll talk to you in a minute. I got to go. Peels off. Starts fucking going. Galadriel's in chase. Halbrand sees Galadriel chasing him. Halbrand's like, all right, I'm going to go too. You ain't going and you're by yourself. You know what I'm saying? And then we get into a fucking nice little horse chase scene. I like this scene a lot. Mm-hmm. Reminded me very much of, it mostly reminded me of, for two reasons. Number one was the music, the intense Lord of the Rings music, right callback. And then the other thing is she says Nora Lim, which is the same thing that Arwen says to her horses in the Fellowship of the Ring when she's riding off against the...
If you want him, come and claim him.
Yeah, against all of the ring rates.
Yeah.
I love that scene in those movies, and I love this scene too. Huge. I felt like
you just legendary elven horses too, just killing it.
Yep.
Oh.
But I loved just like the look of this whole scene, like going through the woods and shit. She's in hot pursuit. The horses are just fucking flying and shit.
Was her horse white too?
Yep.
Yeah. So very whatever. Shadowfax.
Yep. Shadowfax. Yeah. What is it? He's a horse lord or something? Like that?
It's like some kind of horse
Lord
god.
of all horses or something like that.
Yeah, just ride him. He's a god.
Yep. But right away, like I said, I noticed as soon as she said the little elvish word Nora Lim there, I was just like, oh, it's the same fucking shit that Arwen's saying the whole time. She's whispering to her horses here the whole time as she's fucking riding, like faster. You have to assume that's what it means. I mean, that's what I assume.
Get up.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, sweet, this is fucking awesome.
Cheat codes. Cheat codes in it.
For real. And she's kind of fucking starting to close the gap. She's getting real close. She's getting right on Adar's heels. And then all of a sudden, who comes out of nowhere but Halbrand pulling a fucking Damien move straight out of fucking House of the Dragon. He's going to go with the old horse leg sweep and fucking just take out Adar's horse.
Yeah. Dirty, but had to be done.
Got to do it.
Yeah.
Horse again, perfectly okay.
Right.
Loved that. Horse gets right up.
Got up.
Strong
no
knees.
Yeah, I was like, yeah. I'm glad all the showrunners are with me. Don't hurt the horses for no reason. You know what I mean?
Strong knees.
Adar goes fucking end over end, loses the hilt. Halbrand asks, do you remember me?
Right. Yeah. It's weird.
Interesting.
Like, no.
What did you guys get a little history or something? Something happened? You do something to your family? Do something you guys have met before? Adar? Nope. Which I thought was very
Am
funny.
I supposed to? Like,
Dude, I've done a lot of bad things to a lot of people. I'm sorry, you don't exactly stand the fuck out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I thought that was pretty funny. And then as soon as he says no, Hallbrand almost is like insulted by that. Almost like, you don't remember what you did to me kind of a thing. Getting ready to fucking kill him. Galadriel, though, yo, don't do that. I need him alive. We got to ask him some questions. You killing him ain't going to fucking course you want for vengeance. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And he lays off, listens to her. I was like, all right. So now we got Adar captured.
Yeah. What
Saved
do you
the
think he
day.
did to his... I don't know, why is he pissed off? Why should he remember him?
I don't know. I mean, obviously he's on the run from something.
Right.
Or it seemed like he was. You know what I mean? Maybe it seems like he doesn't have much family left. He's the new heir,
so-
basically.
It could be what Adar said was just, did I hurt someone that belonged to you? Like
Yeah.
a woman maybe or whatever?
Yeah, a woman, a child, I think he says, too. So if I had to guess, probably something family related, whether it's his dad or a girl or whoever it may be. That's just my guess, but...
Most likely. It could be a small, even though I don't think Halbrand is Sauron. Didn't this guy say he killed Sauron?
He did, yes.
So
he
he's like-
eventually is.
It's not something that you would say, like, don't you remember me? If I, you know.
Oh,
like,
fuck.
Oh, I'm back, bitch.
Oh, fuck.
But who knows?
Oh, fuck. I didn't even think of that.
I don't think he's the prime candidate anymore.
Man, I didn't
but-
even think of that. You just blew my mind with that one. Son of a
maybe.
bitch. Because they happen in reverse order.
Right.
Fuck. Maybe he is Sauron. I was out on that take. I was turning my back, but now I'm fucking questioning it. Shit. Maybe he is.
Sorry.
Oh, man. Good call. Good fucking call. Maybe it is fucking Halbrand.
But if he's in disguise, he shouldn't expect him to recognize
True.
him.
Yeah,
So that's
yeah.
against it. But I don't know. It seemed like it might point back to it.
Oh, that's a good call, Luke.
No.
That is. But like I said, we have Adar captured now. We're gonna see at Ostirith, the Rock and Isildur. They're gonna basically go on the hunt for these orcs. If you guys want me to learn his name, it's not gonna happen. He's the Rock. It's the Rock and mankind. There's nothing else that's gonna change that. I don't know. Ain't nothing gonna change it. You know what I'm saying?
Rock with Dwayne Johnson.
that got me. Yeah, that one got me.
The Rock and Isildur. Basically, they're gonna be
The nation of domination.
The nation of domination. They're going to be giving chase to the orcs that escaped mankind. He's got enough of it. He was too close to death. He's like, I'm going to chill here with the commoners and help rebuild, which I thought was pretty funny. I was like, yeah, I'm not surprised. You seem like a little bit of the bitch boy. Then we're back at camp now. We got Adar back here. Galadriel and Adar are going to have a little conversation, and we're going to find out that Galadriel heard a bunch of stories about people like Adar. Elves that were literally stolen at childbirth, basically, when they were very young, and they were basically like tortured and like mangled and mutilated and virtually turned into orcs. Yeah. Which we do know actually from like the Lord of the Rings series that Uruk-hai were elves that turned into orcs.
Right. Through some.
Didn't even see this one coming, but the
Dark
pieces are
orcs.
now starting to come together all of a sudden very quickly. Mm-hmm. And it turns out, he literally says, he goes, we prefer him to turn orc. And I was just like, holy shit, you're a fucking orc, aren't you? He's like the beginning, he's like almost transitioning fucking from elf to orc.
I guess I didn't get that all the way, but yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, he's basically like the first of the Uruk-hai.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because like I said,
Right,
the
he took it very
Uruk-hai-
personally. He's like,
Yeah.
we prefer white people. That's what we prefer to be called. Don't call us crackers.
But fucking yeah, he's the first of the Uruk-hai, which
Yeah.
we with a lot of anticipation about who this guy was. First of the Uruks. No one, I don't think, guessed that. But I was like, oh, very cool. I like that. Nice. I like it a lot. But basically, he's gonna, Galadriel wears Sauron. He's gonna say Sauron, after the defeat of Morgoth, actually had a whole change of heart. Decided he was gonna become a good guy, gonna heal the whole entire world. And then I killed him. Yeah, I didn't like his shit, so I killed him. And Galadriel's like, I don't believe any of that. That sounds like a whole load of bullshit. Mm-hmm. But he's like, nope, that's what fucking happened. He mentions the northern cave as being the place where they were defeated. That's where Sauron went after the defeat. And they even show the cave from the first episode. I was like, oh shit. I was like, this place might come back into play again. You know what I mean? I thought it was just some fucking random cave that we decided to show up in the beginning of the season, but it seemed like this place might have a little bit more connection to the actual show. Yeah. Seems like this might be where Sauron fucking went and left. You know what I'm saying? But basically, Adar said he had sacrificed and left children. They went to fucking battle. He killed them. Yada yada yada. But basically, he says soon this land's going to be theirs. You know what I mean? Regardless of you, the Numenorians coming here to help, Halbrand, it doesn't matter. This is all going to end basically, you know, dark. And you think that's dark. Galadriel says, oh, you want to get dark? Like, I'll fucking one-up you. Like, how about this? Like, I'm going to keep you here prisoner forever. I'm going to kill all your little orc children that you love so much. And when I do, you're going to know that I killed them all. And then I'm going to kill you just so you can have all their suffering and you can feel all of it. And even Adar's like, I thought I was the bad guy here. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, you're exterminating my species.
Yeah. What is
pretty harsh.
He says something like the search for the new Morgoth. You should have ended it when you looked in the mirror. And I was just like, oh shit. Mm-hmm. I was just like, you're right though. This bitch is fucking crazy. Like she
trying
is
to exterminate a civilization in a way. You know?
Yeah,
like, it's kind of bad, I guess.
I fucking liked that though. I was just like, oh shit. I was just like. I like that Adar was even kind of like taken aback by it, you know what I'm saying? Like he's supposed to be the bad guy, and even he was just like, what the fuck, dude? Like, you're eviler than I am, bitch. You're supposed to be the hero of this story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But baby fucking Halbrand comes in. She fucking starting to get a little violent too. It looks like even though she said she's gonna keep him alive, it looks like she's basically getting ready to kill him. Halbrand's gonna stop her though, just like she stopped him a fucking minute ago. But before the scene ends, we see Adar to Halbrand, the last word spoken, he says, who are you? No answer. Screen kind of just goes black. Mm-hmm. But now what you just said, now I'm fucked up. Now I think it's fucking Sauron. Now I'm all fucking confused.
It could be. Fuck. Either that or someone key in... I don't know. Why would he know that guy? I don't know.
I don't know. Obviously, I mean, like I said, we said he obviously did something to Halbrand in the past, but I assume, like I said, I've turned page. I think Halbrand's actually good, but now you said that. Now, fuck.
Got me fucked up. Fucked up.
I'm ruined now. I don't know what to think. I'm all freaking torn, man. It's all good. At Ostirith, we're gonna see Bronwyn's gonna thank the queen. Basically, you know, thanks for coming and saving the day. The queen's like, you know, I heard some fucking tales. Basically, you're the one that actually should be getting the thanks. You know what I mean? You're the one that actually led these people. So you know, be proud. You did this yourself. She goes, but you know, if you're not in, Bronwyn says, you know, like, yeah, thanks, but Ruin's not. I never wanted it. I just kind of fell upon me, which is how good rulers usually come about. You know what I mean? It's not usually, it's out of necessity. That's usually how the good rulers come. But the queen goes, all right, well, you know, you need some help ruling? Good news. I brought the heir of the Southlands. He's right here. This is Halbrand. She's like, oh my God, the king that was fucking promised? What's going on? All the people are like, woo! Yeah. All hail Halbrand. Rejoice.
The prophesied
king, yeah. So the Southlands got their king back. They got their boy. They got their new head of the kingdom, basically. So Halbrand's back where he belongs. We see Arondir fucking talking to Theo. Theo, you know, sorry about fucking giving up the secret about where the hilt was, but I didn't want my mom to die, you know what I mean? Arondir's like, nah, it's cool. I like your mom, too. I'm glad you did it, you know what I mean?
Your mom's hot.
Your mom's hot. And then Theo's going to start talking about the hilt, and he sounds just like Frodo with the ring, how it made him feel powerful and stuff like that. He, like, misses the way it made him feel, basically. Very much sounds like the hilt almost has a little bit of a grasp on him. Like, it's got some magical, you know, powers and shit like that, which obviously we've seen it does actually have, but... Yeah. It seems like it's got a little bit of a hold on him, you know what I mean? Reminded me very much of the way Frodo talks about the ring, like I said.
Yeah, that's good.
And then Arondir's going to say, all right, well, you know, if this thing's bothering you so much, why don't we give it to the Numenorians? They're heading back home. They'll toss it into the fucking sea. Get rid of it. So Theo's like, all right, you know, sounds good, but let me look at it one last time before I say goodbye to it. Unwraps it, and it's a fucking little fucking hammer. Little mallet, basically.
Yeah. Not good.
Uh-oh.
Cut to.
Turns out, Adar was able to pass off that hilt to the old man before Galadriel gave chase. And
Sloppy.
we are literally going to see the fucking birth of Mordor to end this episode. Awesome visual scene. The old man's got the hilt. He's brought it to where it needs to be, basically the door, the access hole for this key. He shoves it into the rock. He turns it. Next thing you know, basically like this mountain that was used as a blockade to keep the water from overflowing just gets demolished by magic. Falls down. Water just starts fucking pouring over everything, washing everything away. We see that it washes right into a volcano. And the fucking goes into like the volcano, the lava starts shooting everywhere. I have to imagine that's Mount Doom.
Probably.
I have to imagine,
I
right?
think so, yeah. They've shown that, or at least I'm not sure if it's the same one, but a big mountain in the background of a few key shots throughout the season. So I think it is the same one. They've been
I have to imagine because
slowly leading up to it.
the way that they shot it, even it makes it seem like this is gonna be like a big thing. Obviously, we know Mount Doom very well from the Lord of the Rings series, so it only makes sense that it would be that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But awesome, fucking. Visually so fucking sick to see. I said literally the birth of Mordor. You know what I mean? Lava flying down and shit. Galadriel literally just watches it come at her at the end of the episode, which was gangsta.
I loved that too because it was like after the battle was over, I was like, all right. I was kind of thinking to myself like, all right, where do we go from here? Like, what's the next step? And
Right,
then that
yeah,
happens right
yeah.
away, and I was like, oh man, like we ain't done. Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot more to this. So, like I said, I wasn't I didn't know what the next step was gonna be, and they just immediately like went right into it. I was like, that's just gonna be it. Like, all right, the battle's over, and I'm like, all right, we still got a couple more episodes.
Right.
So,
What
what's
are we
the
gonna
next
do?
step?
We just
And then-
captured Adolf.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
what are we gonna do?
And then that happens. I'm like, oh wow, okay. So yeah, that surprised me, and the way it was shot too. Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah. And then wasn't the Ring of Power forged at Mount Doom also?
I believe it was.
So how are we gonna get there with the elves like forging shit there? I don't know. It's gonna take some serious plot movement to get to that point.
Yeah. It's very interesting.
A lot more on the table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just my brain never thought about seeing like the quote unquote, like I said, the birth of Mordor. I never thought we'd see
Yeah.
something like that.
I guess if you want the rings, you need to have Mount Doom.
Yeah,
And
that's right.
then- but yeah, I don't know how they're gonna make that be not hostile ground while they forge the rings. And I don't know.
Yeah,
I guess
I
I
don't
thought
know.
the end of season 1 would be making the rings, but that's probably not gonna come for a while.
Yeah, I can't imagine we're gonna see any actual rings this season. I think there's too much still to do before we get there.
Yeah.
I think obviously we don't even have Sauron yet, so we kind of got to get him established before we're gonna get to there.
Right.
But either way, bad guys end of the day kind of get a victory here. You know what I mean? The Southlands are in fucking trouble now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
Won the battle, but lost the battle, but maybe won the war.
yeah, that might be a good way to put it. Actually, that might be a good way to put it. And then, like I've been saying, man, I keep saying this fucking old guy's gonna turn into a wraith or a ring wraith or a Nazgul or whatever. He's the guy again. He's the one that fucking Adod trusts to get the job done, and he gets the job
he's
fucking
effective.
done. You know what I mean? And we also actually see when the fucking water comes, Adod was actually managed somehow. We don't know how, but he escaped. He wasn't there anymore. He was out of his shackles and he somehow broke free. So Adol's on the loose. He was able to get out of town beforehand.
I'm interested to rewatch the early episodes now because that the guy with the sword, he had a lot of early lines in that tavern where he's like the bartender basically.
Yeah.
So like, I bet he has a lot of subtle things.
Like hidden meanings behind what he's saying.
Right.
Yeah.
Like he defended Arendir at one point, right?
Yep.
He caught a punch for him or whatever. So
Was it the same guy?
I thought so. What do you mean?
Oh, I don't know if that's. I don't know.
Yeah.
See, that's like a good point. That's why it's worth going back and rewatching.
I thought it was the
The
same guy
bar-
as the bartender.
I actually think that the barkeep was the guy that was fighting in this episode with like the spear. He actually ended up dying.
Okay.
I think that was.
I'm combining.
I think that was the
No, you're
guy
right.
that
'Cause,
caught
yeah,
the
this.
punch.
No, I think you're probably right. Because the guy they stole the hilt from was just like some
That's
random guy on the
the
edge
old
of town.
guy.
Yeah, he was like, we didn't meet him until after the hilt was stolen, basically.
Right.
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 Yeah, you're right.
Yes. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. I think the guy that was fighting and was doing work until he ended up dying.
Okay. So same thing. Need to watch those early
Yeah.
townsfolk episodes. But yeah, I was off on that one. My bad.
But that's gonna basically wrap up that episode. Awesome episode. First look at battle. Like we said, probably our favorite episode. It seems like almost unanimously, and that is without some of our major characters that we have all established that we've loved not even being in it, which I think says how good the episode actually was.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
No Duran, no Elron, no Harfoots. So I have to imagine next week they'll probably be a
Probably
big
go back
part.
to that, right?
Yeah. I'd have to imagine they're going to be a big part of it. I don't know how much story there's left to tell down here for the rest of the season. Actually, I don't know. We'll see. I guess, but
Yeah.
it seems like they kind of took down their enemy, so now it's gonna just kind of establish. I don't know. We'll see.
How many more episodes?
2.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So.
they've done enough too. Like I said, the way that this season's been and exceeding my expectations, that regardless of what they do, I have faith that it's going to be really well
Good,
done.
yeah.
And it's going to be good.
Yeah.
I think we'll probably find out who the stranger is, Meteor Man. We'll find out who.
True.
It is by the
Yeah,
end of
mixed
this.
still got to
in
deal
there,
with
too.
him.
Yeah.
We had those new bad guys from last week. Those cultists looking like elves. I don't even know. They were all in white, looking very
Right. They were looking for him. They were tracking him.
Yep. So we still have a lot to unpack in 2 episodes. You know
I like
what I
it.
mean?
Like
But
the mystery.
yeah. Damn good episode. Like we said, probably our favorite of the season.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, new one's only a couple days away already. You know what I mean? We are really behind today, so this one's going to be a long one for you guys. Let's dive into House of the Dragon. And Mitch, if you don't mind, before we start, that black wire that's dangling right there from the camera thing, inside the camera, right next to the wire that's already plugged into it, there should be a spot. If you could just plug that in to make sure that we don't die. Should be, I think, yeah, you should be able to see it. Yep, I was going to say, I think it is towards the front. We are making do today, ladies and gentlemen. Making do today. Poor
Got
Luke's just going to be covered in icons. I'm going to get
That's all right.
killed by Steph.
I'm a Spotify guy anyway. I'm usually in the car when I'm listening to these, so
There we go.
not for me.
So let's dive into House of the Dragon. Let's try to go through it, as quick as we can, but let's go through it as good as we can as well. Episode 7, getting close to the end here. Driftmark entitled the episode, and this was an episode that I thought started slow, but once it got going, fucking went. Yeah,
Boulder downhill.
fucking went.
All
Man.
momentum.
The first maybe 15, 20 minutes or so, something like that, a little rough, but it went. And then obviously my other big thing that I would take away is can we all agree that we all know what we're watching is television? We know what we're watching is fake? Can we all just acknowledge we want to see what the fuck is going on? Like, I get it. We want to make things realistic. I also want to see
Yeah.
what is happening on my fucking television screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really dark.
I don't want to have to go and be like, hang on, babe, pause the show so I can go close every single window and fucking blind,
Yeah.
turn off every light, just so I can kind of see what the fuck is going on.
My apartment's pitch black by like 6:30 at night if I needed it to be, and it's like I still can't fucking see. I'm like leaning forward, squinting.
I
You know,
got a
feel like an
fancy
old
TV
man.
with like super ultra black, and it's still like barely see it.
I'm just sick of the creativity thing, too. It's like, enough, dude, enough with the creativity. Enough.
It symbolizes that it's things they shouldn't be doing and you shouldn't be seeing.
Get the fuck out of here.
I want to see what they should.
Yeah, for real, dude. That's what I'm here for. Fucking here for Game of Thrones. But with that said, this episode was very Game of Thronesy. This is what everything I love about Game of Thrones, man. This was it. I love this episode. I've been on 2 characters this whole entire show so far. I feel like this show's got a lot of unlikable people, not too many likable people. The only 2 that I like, let's get them together, baby. Let's fucking form.
Those both characters are like meant for you. I feel like.
Yep.
The way that you love Cersei so much, it's like this is Cersei, but with like good vibes
Well,
and like with some support
Little
from
heart.
the showrunners, basically.
Yep.
And, like,
There was one too that I didn't like at first, and like we'll get into it. And now that he's back, and I don't know if it was just the fact that he was off screen for a while, but now that he's back, I love him now.
Oh, no. I hope you're not going to say what I think.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck off, man.
Yeah. I'm on.
Get this guy off my screen.
I don't know what it was, but I'm back on.
Auto?
I'm on the train. Yeah.
Oh,
I
no.
fucking love it.
Oh, that breaks my heart to hear it. I can't stand that scumbag.
I love that he's a scumbag. Like it's funny. His goal, I feel like, is not to take over the throne. His goal is to just watch these families just fucking kill each other.
Yeah.
he's playing his game.
Yeah.
It's
His
all
game
about
with
legacy, baby. It's all about legacy.
I love that he was back.
This episode, a lot about legacy. We're going to open up with a funeral for Lena. We saw last week she unfortunately passed trying to give birth to her 3rd child. neither her nor the baby were able to make it. And we see that their custom here for the Sea Lords is to basically put them in a tomb, a concrete tomb, and then push them off into the sea. And the very first thing I said out loud when this episode was happening was when this happened, I said, no fucking thank you. Yeah. I don't really care about what happens to me so much when I die. Cremate me, bury me. I don't want this. Mark it down.
Dunked on top of a pile of 1,000 ancestors.
Yeah, fuck no. I don't want to be at the bottom of the friggin' ocean in a fucking tomb. No.
I thought it was gonna float away. And I was like, oh, that's pretty. I like that. That's pretty cool. It's just sunk to the bottom of the bottom of the ocean.
Like Luke said, that sucks. With all the other fucking sea lords and shit. No. Don't like it. Hated it. Right away I was like, don't want that.
Not the grave pit, please. Yeah. Anything but the grave pit.
I'm all set. Burn me like the Targaryens, please. We're going to see that Seth's guy, fucking Otto, the old hand is dead, killed by his son, the Clubfoot, at the end of last episode. Otto's been called back in, sworn back in the service. He is now a hand of the king. I was fucking, you gotta be kidding me. We couldn't find anybody else beside this fucking asshole.
Allison made it happen, you know?
Probably, yeah.
And that was heavily implied last episode. It was like, that was the thing she said that made Larys act on killing his family.
Yeah.
And then he's like, you're going to contact your father now, aren't you?
Yep.
He's like,
Good callback. Yep, you're absolutely right. She's definitely, you can tell she's felt a little bit alone without him since she's, been sworn off, basically. Mm-hmm. But we're going to see, like I said, Otto's back. We're going to kind of bounce around to a couple different people. Most of it wasn't really anything worth taking away, except for two, I said, which was Damon, who laughs at one point during the funeral. I was just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
He's so evil.
I was like, but they do that on purpose. Yeah. They want the audience to be timid to this guy.
Yeah.
Because he has scenes where he's nice, he has scenes where he's bad. Like, it's what the fuck, man.
I think he was laughing because the speech was kind of like calling out bloodlines and like not thinning the bloodlines.
Okay.
So it was like a public call out of
Rhaenyra.
Like the
is that what it was? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. I was gonna say there had to be something that made him like laugh. Is that what he was? Okay. I like that. I'm in. And then the other one I took away was Laenor, obviously. Laenor is just fucking distraught, you can see. He is absolutely just very sad. And we see that he is going to basically go off into the sea, just like waist deep, and he's just like
contemplating drowning himself.
Yeah. I don't know what he's going to do to swim out to sea or what, but he's not doing so good.
Yeah, a little weak.
So we're going to go to the actual, after funeral ceremony. Everyone's here now. We see that 5 dragons have gathered. First time I noticed that. Like, we see 5 dragons on screen at one time. I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah, very cool. That was by far a record. We maybe had 3 during Thrones.
Yep.
And it was 2 up until now on
Yep.
So now 5.
Yep. Yeah. I think that checks out.
More to come, baby.
For real. But even then, just fucking 5 of those things in one picture all just flying in. I was just like, sick. Love that.
Hanging out on the castle too.
Yeah, almost watching, like partaking, over watching themselves. They say they're smart as shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We see that Rhaenyra is going to go and encourage her eldest son Jace to basically go and help their cousins mourn Laena's 2 kids. Go help them out. The kid's like, I'm fucking do some sympathy too. My fucking dad died. I was just like, whoa, chill out. Chill, bro. You can't be saying that shit here, man.
Someone else's funeral.
Yeah.
It's about that.
Rhaenyra was like, hey, basically the same thing. Like, go help your cousins. You know what I mean? Go help them out. We see that fucking Prince Aegon is sworn to his sister Helena. Helena still doing weird shit, killing spiders and just being a fucking weirdo.
Yes.
He says they have nothing in common. And I was like, yeah, I don't blame you. If you have anything in common with this girl, you're a fucking weirdo because she's a fucking weirdo.
But now you got to watch out for her now. Now you got to listen to the things that she says.
This is what you guys are telling me about.
Yeah. You got to listen to the things that she says. Because it was last episode where, he says that he's going to get a dragon one day. And she basically says, I think she says, you're going to have to close an eye in order to do it.
Okay.
I think this was when she's playing with the centipede.
Okay. Yeah. And
then the same thing. I don't know if it's the same thing. Playing with the centipede, she says,
spider.
She says the last ring has no legs at all.
Yeah.
So it's got to be a call out to Bran, right?
Call to Bran. There's also a possible upcoming event that it could be referring to.
So now, like I said, now it's out there. So even though she's weird, you got to listen to what she's
The
saying.
last
because
ring has no legs.
So yeah, that was when she was looking at that millipede thing or whatever, and like she was looking at all the rings of the millipede and with all the legs, and then the last ring has no legs. So
she says some
it's
weird
a weird,
shit.
weird like observation, but I mean the first they're clearly establishing that what she says has some truth to it. With
here on out, you got to
one
listen,
episode
you gotta
later
listen to what she says. Yeah.
Aemon
Alright.
has to lose an eye to get a dragon.
Yep.
And
So-
does it immediately, like within 40 minutes of her saying that.
Right. So it seems like she's probably one of these Targaryen dreamers.
Right,
Got some visions.
right, which doesn't happen very often. Seems like.
And they gave it to
Viserys had one dream.
Weird. Maybe that's why she's so weird, actually.
Right. Yeah, I mean, she seems like kind of
Fucking weird.
autistic or something. Like,
Fucking weird.
Yeah.
She's weird.
Yeah.
She's constantly just sitting by herself, just fucking playing with insects.
Yeah,
It's
a
weird.
collector.
I don't want to judge.
Yeah, and that's another cool thing is that there's not anything about this in the books. So
Oh,
yeah, she's not a dreamer.
that's interesting.
She's just like she's the daughter who has a dragon named Dreamfire, which is actually the dragon that
Dream Fire.
that Aemon runs into in the dungeons of
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Dragon
yeah.
Pit. That's
Last week.
Dreamfire.
Okay.
That's Dreamfire, and that's the name of her dragon, which she currently has, and that's her dragon. They just haven't mentioned it in the show,
Interesting. Even the name sounds kind of like what we're talking about already, so it's kind of weird.
right? Which she probably named it, like, because she's got some crazy.
She's a dreamer. Yeah.
All right. I'm in. I get it. I'm following. I'm picking up what you're putting down, buddy.
Yep.
I like it. Like I said, we're going to see that Aegon is sworn to his sister Helena. He's like, I got nothing in common. Aemon encouraging him, just like, I'd do my duty if it was me kind of thing. And I was just like, okay, interesting. First thing we're going to see from him this episode where Aegon and Aemon have very different personalities.
Yeah.
Drastically different humans. We see that Laris is he's here, which I don't know why, because his dad and
always
brother
just
just
there.
died.
Yeah.
You should probably be there so it's not suspicious. Maybe you, like, if you're not there, it might look like you may have had something to do with their murder.
Right.
But regardless.
I was assuming there was something with the timing, like I don't know,
Yeah, maybe.
but
Yeah.
that should have been a priority for sure.
For real. He's pulling a Cole. He's just like pulling a Cole earlier on. He's just staring at Allison like a fucking weirdo, just like staring her down, just can't get his eyes off of her. Just like puppy dog kind of thing. We're gonna see Jace gonna go over to his cousins, like Rhaenyra suggested. One of the sisters takes his hand and kind of, starts, just appreciating the morning. You know what I mean? It seems like those kids are kind of close, sort of, even though they may have not spent too much time together. Seems like whichever one of Lena's daughters it was appreciates Jace being there. It seems like they might be pretty close, even though technically they're not actually that related.
Right. No, it seems like they're on good terms.
Yeah.
And supporting each other. Like you said, he goes to stand next to her because her mother just died, and I'm pretty sure it was her that reached out and grabbed his hand.
Yeah, yeah.
She knows maybe I don't know. Maybe it's because his father died, but
We're gonna find out. It's probably a good thing that they're gonna be getting along because they're gonna need each other. You know what I mean? We see that Lord Corlys is preparing Rhaenyra's other son, Lucerys, for basically his seat at Driftmark. He's like, hey, you're the heir to Driftmark. You're, Laenor's oldest son. Laenor is going to be king, basically, so you're going to be entitled to Driftmark. And like a lot of children, I would feel like he's like, I don't want Driftmark. That means everybody's dead. And I was just like, word. I can relate to that kind of a thing. You know what I mean?
heavy Jon Snow. Shit
Yeah,
right here.
yeah.
So he's a bastard who is refusing
Yep.
the
Seat.
authority.
Yeah.
the seat.
I gotcha.
Yeah,
I gotcha.
strong, and he's really a Targaryen, just like Jon.
Oh wow, that's a lot. Good call. I like that. That's like three. That's three good ties right there. So we're gonna see Laenor. Like I said, he's we saw him at the sea. He's fucking just mourning. Lord Corlys is gonna tell Carl with a Q, hey, go get your fucking boy. We need him up here. Viserys is gonna go talk to his brother for the first time. I would have to imagine since banishing him. It's been a long time, 10+ years basically. Seems like Viserys, as we've seen, is doing awful. I cannot fucking believe this guy is still even making it around. It's unbelievable. He's walking on 2 feet.
Still decaying. Still.
He looks like Gollum, but he's fucking making it, man. I'm stunned. I can't believe it. Fucking tells Daemon, hey, let's squash the beef. You know what I mean? You can tell he's getting old. He just wants to, settle things. Hey, let's squash the beef. Come back. I got you a seat at court. Daemon's like, fuck you, I don't need shit. Ends up kind of just walking away from him, kind of bouncing. Otto goes over to him, hey, sorry about the loss of your friggin' wife. He's just like, dude, fucking leeches, man. No matter how fat they are, they always come back for another meal. And I was just like, fuck you, Otto. That's right, you fat leech bitch.
Yeah, that was a good line.
I was like, yeah, Damon, talk that shit, champ. Talk that shit.
Yeah, time does not heal all wounds. Fuck this guy.
I fucking hate that Otto guy. I really do. And then the last thing that we're going to see to kind of close out this scene is the king is going to go up to bed, and he is going to call Alicent Emma, which is his previous wife who died. And no one really, no one really calls him out on it, but everyone's just kind of like,
Didn't somebody snicker?
someone might, maybe there might have been like a little snicker,
or something. I don't know. Somebody like snickers.
Yeah, no one really obviously calls him out on it, him being the king or whatever. But everyone, it's very clear now between the looks of this guy's body and his brain. He's fucking going, man. He's going quick. From there, real quick, we're gonna see a little. Now, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna look right at the camera. Last week, I was very, 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 very hard on Prince Aegon. If he just stops coming on people out of his window, I think that me and Prince Aegon can really get along. Because I get Prince Aegon. Aside from the coming out the window on people. I don't like that. Let's end that, but everything else I'm in for. He's just drunk in his sleep on one of the castle walls, enjoying the nice, summer air.
Looking for some ladies with long legs.
That's right, looking for some ladies with some long legs. Just enjoying being a prince.
Yeah.
Otto's going to come upon him, fucking wake him up. You stupid son of a bitch, get the fuck up here. And I was like, Otto, you're just ruining the party. We're just sleeping. We're just having a good time. Why are you bothering us kind of thing? You know what I mean? Leave us alone.
Did it seem like Aemon might have told on him or something? It was weird how Aemon was like just chilling behind the wall.
Could be. Could be.
I wasn't sure. It wasn't clear. Obviously, you couldn't know. But.
From this episode, I started to gain the idea that I think this is who Aegon is.
Yeah.
I think Aegon likes to party. I don't think he really wants much to do with the Game of Thrones. I think he wants to have a good time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
From there, we're going to go to a good conversation that I enjoyed, very Thronesy. A lot about what this show I kind of feel like is about. Rhaenys and Lord Corlys. Kind of about legacy and bloodlines and all that. Basically, Rhaenys is trying to find somewhere to place blame for the death of her daughter. Maybe it's our own fault. Maybe our pursuit of the throne has led us kind of astray and caused all of this bad stuff to happen to our family. Lord Corlys is like, bro, I'm just trying to get my girl on the throne because you weren't giving it. You know what I mean? Like, can you blame me? And she's like, bro, I know that ain't the fucking truth. You can say what you want. This is about you. You want to be fucking king. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
Lord
Lord Corlys,
husband to the queen, at least, or
yeah. King by fucking association.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Get that.
Whatever angle you can. Yeah.
Yep. And he doesn't deny it. He doesn't go like, what are you, crazy? You know what I'm saying? He doesn't deny it at all. So you can tell there's some truth to it. Then Rhaenys is going to double down and she's going to say, I think that we should make Laena's eldest daughter the heir to Driftmark because Rhaenyra and Laenor's kids on a Valyrian blood. I don't care if you don't want to see it or not. You can clearly tell they're not real fucking Valyrians. Like I want to go to true Valyrians. Yeah. And Lord Corlys says an awesome line. History doesn't remember blood. It remembers names. And I was like, I like that. That's fucking, like I said, very Thronesy, kind of like.
Right.
True.
He just wants the legacy.
That's right. Life's all about legacy.
Yeah.
In a fucking 100 years from now, they're not going to be talking about who's the father of who. It's just going to say Targaryen, Valerian, whoever the fuck. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Will there be a sentence maybe mentioning some rumor? Sure. Who gives a fuck, though? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Never proved. Just random thing. Probably won't make it to the official history books anyway. You're good.
Probably true. Yeah. Probably true. But like I said, I liked that conversation. Very Thronesy to me, like I said. Felt like a lot like what this show's about. You know what I mean? Blood, legacy, fucking what are we doing this for? Why are we playing this game? What are we willing to sacrifice? Mm-hmm. All those kind of things, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so many of the biggest characters, that's their driver, is just legacy.
Right.
That's Tywin's whole thing, and that's what he instills in his kids.
Yep. Yeah, Cersei definitely got that memo clear as day. No one was listening more than her. Yeah. It's all about the story. Legacy. Terrible final season, but like Tyrion said, there's nothing more powerful than a good story, baby.
Go.
can unite people, fucking unite clans. You know what I'm saying?
What a quote. the brand quote.
Yeah.
But
From
he's not wrong.
he's not wrong. No, he's not. It's a terrible fucking finale, but that I did like that line. I'm not
It was a
gonna
good
lie.
line.
From there, we're going to go to what I previewed at the beginning of the show. My two guys, my guy and my gal, Raynara and Damon. We're going for a little stroll on the beach.
Let's go.
It's dark as shit. You can't see a fucking thing.
Because they shouldn't be doing it. That's their reason. For
Yeah.
it, cinematically,
Yeah.
whatever.
They're kind of just basically talking about the situation that's at, all the situations that's at hand, the death of Lena, things going on with Lena and Raynara, their newest son, yada, yada, yada. And then we're going to have kind of a little callback to the brothel scene. She's going to say, Raynara's going to say, I tried, having a child with Lena. We couldn't make it work. And then she goes, there was no joy in it, which is, like I said, a direct callback to what Damon said to her in the brothel house, which was, it's supposed to be joy for all parties involved. It's supposed, you know what I mean? It's not supposed to just be about duty. It's supposed to be about feeling pleasant, you know what I'm saying? The joy of sex, whatever.
Yeah, look at all these people. All the fun they're having.
Yeah. And then she's going to say, basically, you left me here alone. I needed you. You fucking left the Pentos. You left me here with just Dad. I've been with fucking Allison, who hates my guts, and Cole, who hates my guts. And all I had is Sir Harwin, and now he's gone. You fucking abandoned me. And then I want you. And I was like,
Let's go.
let's go, baby. And it was at this moment where Steph looked over at me and she goes, you need therapy. And I said, no, you need to go watch fucking This Is Us if you want regular family drama. We're watching Thrones. They're Targaryen. They're my two favorite characters. I don't care what they are to one another. I want them fucking.
Let's go.
And next thing you know, what are we going to do?
Power couple and a half, right?
Power couple and a half.
Yeah.
The two people that have demanded the screen the most in this show so far have been these two. When they're on the screen, they demand your attention.
For sure.
And now they're together.
Yeah, they're scary. And they immediately put together a really good plot that works really well, seems like.
Yep.
And they also embrace all of the questions that it's going to bring up. They're like,
Yep.
that'll make them fear us.
Yep.
Beautiful.
But yeah, like I said, on the beach, Raynara makes the first move.
Right.
Damon made the first move at the brothel. Raynara's been thinking about it ever since. Like I said, she made that call back to No Joy. She's been thinking about that night at the brothel these 10 past years or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. She moves on in. Damon's like, Raynara. And she's like, I ain't a kid no more, baby. Let's do it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Get it on.
Yeah. Next thing you know, they're doing it on the beach. And then the way they shot it was very passionate, I would say. Very, you know what I'm saying? Like you would see, two normal, it was very loving. I was like, oh, shit, okay. Goes to show, apparently Damon might only be able to get it up for girls he's related to because he was struggling until Lena, and now Raynara. We're not going to dive into all those issues, but I'm just saying there might be something there that he needs to work out therapeutically. Just saying.
White hair only.
But hey, they're together. I've been calling for it. Like I said, I don't give a fuck. They're Targaryens, whatever. I don't care. This is Thrones. I want it my way. They're together. Let's do it. Sand can't be good.
Yeah.
Got to be messy sex. I gotta get some sand to get all kinds of sand in bad areas and tough. We're gonna stay in the pitch darkness, and we're going to go to one of the most badass scenes that I would argue in all of Game of Thrones or House of the Dragon. We're going to see that Prince Aemon, Alicent's second son, whose dragon egg never hatched, who is desperate in need of a dragon. Last week he was getting bullied basically by his brother and his cousins. They gave him a pig. He is in desperate search for a dragon. And turns out Lena just died, and she happened to leave the biggest dragon on the fucking planet available for the taking.
Yeah.
So he's going to go off in the middle of the night, goes on a little hunt, stumbles across Vhagar. Finds him, tracks him down. Vhagar wakes up, looks like he's about ready to fucking toast him. Kid answers the call, though, fucking gives him some fucking instructions, tells him, hey, yo, chill out, calm down. Vhagar was like, all right, word.
Dohaeris.
Yep.
Yeah, all kinds of cool shit.
Yep.
Yeah, serve. as
Very,
well.
very in control though. Very fucking stern. Not like, very composed. Fucking stands his ground. Gets some balls. You know what I mean? Fucking gives the orders. I think that's how you gotta fucking talk to a dragon. If a dragon can sense that shit, you know what I mean? They don't want no weak.
Smell the fear.
For real, exactly. He's gonna climb up. He's gonna climb on up. He's gonna climb right onto the saddle. And it seems like Vhagar's almost gonna give him a little bit of a test drive. Like, you want to ride me? You want to be my new lord? All right, let's see what you got, kid. They're gonna go off on an awesome looking fucking fly through the night. She's gonna go take him up, down, all around through the water.
Magic carpet ride.
For real. Aemon has to do everything he can to hang on. He's fucking flying around a few times, fucking holding on for dear life. Able to pull it through. Seems like fucking Vhagar's got a new fucking rider.
Yeah.
And it also turns out that Laena's two daughters happen to be watching from their window. They see Vhagar's fucking taken out, flying off. They're like, someone must have stolen it. They go wake Rhaenyra's two kids. Again, kind of like I was saying, showing that they have a bit of a relationship. There's a little bit of a bond there between the two sets of siblings. Mm-hmm. She goes, hey, exactly what I said. Vhagar's been stolen. You know what I mean? So they hop up, take off. And then, Vhagar's going to come down for a landing. But like I said, it seems like he's got a new king, new master, and Prince Aemon. He's got his dragon now, the biggest one in the fucking planet.
Yeah.
The only one left from Old Valyria, right?
Actually, it wasn't from Old Valyria, but it was owned by one of Aegon the Conqueror's sisters. They hatched it on Dragonstone.
Oh, okay.
Hatched it on Dragonstone. The last one from Old Valyria was Balerion. He was the last one.
Okay,
Yep.
I got you.
But it was owned and ridden by the first conquering trio.
I got you.
I think it was Visenya.
So it's still like it's old. The egg, even the egg itself, is old as shit, though.
Yes.
I got you.
Yep. So yeah, Vhagar was hundreds of years old probably when the conquest took place. So
You could tell. I didn't notice it actually until after Aemon was already on it. There's a part where he's like sweeping over a mountain, and I was just like, "Holy shit!"
I know.
He's fucking huge. Or she? Is she? I think it is a she, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
She's
Aemon's
fucking
tiny.
huge.
I know.
Yeah,
Like
he
he
is.
looks. I mean, he's probably 5 feet tall, but
Yeah, tops.
even just like throat to back of the neck is like 20 feet.
Nothing. Yeah, looks
what?
like a speck.
I
A
know.
speck.
It's crazy.
The way they make these dragons look just now, as we're seeing them one on one, is incredible. If they look like this when they're fighting each other, I mean, fuck me, it's gonna be insane, man.
I don't even know how dragons would fight. Are they shooting? Are they biting? I don't know. They're in midair, so they're just like tangling up and falling to the ground.
Yeah,
or-
claws, teeth, I'd imagine, because like you said, fire's probably not gonna do much. You know what I mean?
Right.
Some fucking
Right,
tail,
there
some tail snaps, like
Tail-
fucking
tail
Pokemon.
whack.
Tail whip.
But yeah, no, I guess we're gonna fucking see. You know what I mean? I'm sure that the whoever the rider is probably got maybe they pull out their swords. They try to start doing a little slashing and dicing as they're flying past each other, kind of a thing.
Might kill the rider. That's probably the goal, is kill the rider.
Yeah. I'd probably imagine so. Actually,
Right.
maybe I get a Dothraki on Dragonback, start firing arrows.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I said, this scene I thought it just looked fucking sick. Even though it was at night and it was dark, it still felt this one looked better than the last one on the beach. The beach one was wicked dark. This they did a little this and a little that to lighten it up, kind of, but looked fucking wicked cool. Love that scene. And you had mentioned to me that they had shot a scene where Laena takes Vhagar originally, and they ended up cutting it. And as soon as I saw that, I was disappointed when you told me that. I was like, oh man, that probably would have looked so cool. Now it almost makes more sense why they cut it.
I agree.
Because now this holds that impact. If we had already seen it, it's like, all right, we already seen this kind
Like
of
the
a thing.
same dragon, too.
Right. Yep.
Right?
Yep.
It's like, all right. Yeah.
And
So
it
it's like
seems
one or
like
the
he's
other.
going to be a much longer rider than she was, so it makes sense for it to be him. Plus, the kid factor always increases if it's a kid. You know what I mean, kind of a thing. But very, very cool. First time we've seen a dragon be not hatched but claimed. You know what I mean, on screen. Yeah. From there, we're going to go basically down into, like, whatever you want to call it, the landing pits, the dragon pits, wherever it is. But Prince Aemon has, landed. He hops off the dragon. He's heading on in. And Laenor and Rhaenyra's two kids, Laena and Daemon's two kids, all four of them have made it on down there. They're like, it's you. And all of a sudden, Prince Aemon, now that he has a dragon, has found some fucking newfound balls that he never had before, boy.
Yeah, it's me.
Whoo, yeah. He cockiness flowing. He's like, yeah, it's me. What's up? I just stole your mama dragon. What you gonna do about it? Fucking, I think it's Baela, right? Is it Baela?
Baela's one of them. I don't know which one.
I think it was her. I think it was. I don't know. I can't. Yeah, you're right. It was. They had like the same name.
Yeah.
She's like, I was gonna claim that dragon. He's like, well, you fucking shouldn't have taken your fucking sweet time doing it. Yeah, exactly. Fucking snooze, you lose. You know what I'm saying? And the two girls like kind of rush right in to go attack him. One of them, she pushes one down. The other one hits him with a punch. I was like, oh, there you go, girl. Then he fucking clocks her. I was like, yo, what the fuck? What is going on here? He drills her. As soon as he hits the girl, now Rhaenyra's two kids are like, all right, well, you can't be hitting a woman. Now it's time for us to get involved. They fucking bum rush him. He ends up breaking the youngest one's nose, fucking hits him clean. Calls them both bastards. Fucking Lord Strong, this, that, the other
Telling
thing.
you he'd burn him like his father died and stuff.
Yep.
I'll burn you like your father.
Getting real personal.
Yeah, fucked up.
Jesus.
Getting real personal. Yeah, he does. He's, I'll
burn
have
my
my
dragon.
dragon burn you. Dude, you just got that thing 30 seconds ago. You relax on the shit talk, all right?
Yeah.
Maybe the next time you go to get on there, Vega will light you the fuck up. You don't even know. But fucking, like I said, Rhaenyra's two kids kind of rush in. He puts them down too, calls them out. Jace is like, dude, you're going to fucking talk shit like that? All right. Then he gets fired up, fucking goes, fucking pulls a knife, rushes in. He gets tossed down again. Fucking Aemon picks up a rock. Brought a rock to a knife fight.
Yeah.
Getting
He's ready to kill somebody.
He really, it seemed like it. Yeah. It really did. It really seemed like he was ready.
I had like my mouth like, I was like, like it was the first time I like took it. Like I thought, like I don't know much of the backstory as much as you do, Luke, but like I was like, oh man, one of these kids is gonna fucking die. Like that was the first time that I was like,
yeah,
oh my
god,
high. Like holy shit, one of these kids is about to get fucked up.
Yeah, I hear you. Slide to the front of your seat a little bit.
Yeah,
it's like,
oh
my god.
no.
You grab your throw pillow. You're like, what the heck? No, I'm with you. I definitely, I feel like I started to get the same way. This, like we said, the beginning of this episode started a little slow, but fucking once it got going, man, this is where it started fucking going. It just started running downhill real fast. So, like I said, he takes care of Rhaenyra's two boys, calls them out. Jace pulls a knife. He's on the friggin' ground. He gets knocked down, loses the knife. The younger one picks it up. Jace throws some dirt into Aemon's face, blinds him for a second, and the younger one is it's not Viserys.
It's Lucerys.
Lucerys.
Goes by Luke eventually.
Okay, cool. That's even better. I like that.
Easier.
Yeah, much better. Lucerys fucking picks up the knife that his brother dropped and fucking whoosh, slashes Aemon right across the face, gets him real good right across the eye.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh shit. Kingsguard shows up right then, like puts an end to it kind of a thing. But the scene doesn't really stop there. We just kind of move to where we're going. And now we're in the Driftmark Hall. We're still in Driftmark. We haven't left. We're in there like Great Hall. And this is the very first scene that we're going to really see, like you've told us about actually on our preview episode fucking all those weeks ago, the Greens versus the Blacks. Yeah. The line is going to be clearly fucking drawn in this room right here. Yeah. And you're going to see who's on which side.
Also, heavy similarities to season 1 Game of Thrones. That like after Lady Sansa's direwolf attacked Joffrey, and how they had that whole like like some of the parents were there, some of the people were there. They were already like in the middle of
true,
like a trial basically.
Yep.
Ned Stark rolls in. He's like, "What's the meaning of this?"
Corlys
rolls in. He's the father of the two girls. He says, "What's the meaning of this?"
Yeah.
Same exact line. Same exact line.
Shit, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's a great call.
Yeah, and obviously the same vibes in general. Just
I was gonna say the same kind of outcome because the queen in both cases is basically, in this one, literally looking for an eye for an eye, but Cersei was looking for the same thing.
Yeah. No, and she's like, "Oh, well, let's kill her wolf."
Yeah. That's a good fucking call. And he says the same line. I love these shows, man.
I know, they're good.
The attention to detail is so fucking good.
Yeah.
Viserys is going to stroll into the hall. Everyone's already pretty much there, aside from basically Rhaenyra and Laenor, basically the only people that are missing. Viserys wants to know what happened. Basically, he's asking the kids like, what the hell is going on here? What's the chaos here? We see that Aemon's eye is literally stitched up. The whole fucking thing cut right down. We stitched up the eye. The eye is gone. We ain't recovering that thing. It's
You know what
done.
my favorite part of this is that Damon's just sitting in the back laughing. Like, he was like, this wasn't me this time. Like, I didn't do anything. Like, he's just like sitting back, leaning up against the wall, just soaking it all in.
He doesn't talk again.
Didn't play a role, but loves to watch the
Yeah.
chaos ensue. You know
Yeah,
what
it
I
wasn't
mean?
me this
Felt that
time, guys.
Cole at one
Yeah.
point.
Wants a front row seat and a little popcorn just to sit there and fucking munch on while he watches. But we see that, like I said, Aemon, his eye is gone. The king's asking kind of, what's going on here. We see that fucking Aegon gets called into things. Aegon's just like, yo, I went to sleep. I wasn't drinking, but he wasn't going to say that. But he's like, I have no idea what's going on. Because Alicent's like, where were you? He's like, I was having a good time. She even says, like, were you buried in your cups again? It's like, bro, I'm a prince. Like, what do you want me to do? Yeah, I'm not a fucking peasant. I'm not going to go fucking craft steel. Like, yeah, I bang girls, I drink, and I come on people out my window. What do you want me to do? But Rhaenyra shows up. Fucking, we're going to have our standoff really kind of solidified now. And she's going to kind of go over to her boys. And right away, they were like, yo, Ma, like, we were provoked. They called us bastards. And Rhaenyra was like, thank you for that. I'm going to take that into my back pocket for a minute. Going to use that. Thank you very much. Right away, King's like, all right, what's the meaning of all this? Again, trying to figure out what's going on. She's just like, hey, my boys might have fucking slashed this kid's eye up, but they were called bastards. They were their legitimacy was questioned. That is the highest of treason. King's like, huh? He said that shit? Aemon, who told you that? And Aemon's like looking at Alicent, just like, Ma, what do I say? And I was like, say Alicent, say Alicent, say Alicent, say Alicent, say Alicent.
Right.
He pushed out like a bitch. He was like, my older brother Aegon. Dad goes over to Aegon. Aegon's just like, bro.
Where'd you hear it, dog?
Yeah, for real. He was like, I just want to be left alone, dude. Like, I don't want to be in all this drama. Like, I just want to chill. Like I was saying, I'm starting to I'm coming around on Aegon. I'm starting to think that this guy might be my guy. I kind of respect him. He just wants to chill and have a good time and drink, and he doesn't want to be caught up in all this drama. But he's just like, Dad, I mean, no one told me. Like, use your eyeballs. Look at these kids. They ain't her fucking kids.
Everyone knows.
I mean, everyone knows.
Come on.
Just look
Come
at
on, you know what I'm saying? These aren't his kids. And basically, the king's just like,
Like, what the
no moss of this. The king was observing Aemon staring at his mom, though. It looked like it seemed like King Viserys almost knew that this information was coming from Alicent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, as I said, Aemon was really staring at her for a second, and it seemed like the king was just like, almost like, who are you looking at kind of a thing.
Yeah.
It was just like,
I mean, that's the conversation that he had with her a month
True.
ago or whatever last
yep.
episode.
And he told her, don't bring this up again. Yeah. He told her, you know what I mean? But it seems like he, clearly hasn't stopped.
You're not even not bringing it up. You're just spreading it through your children.
True.
It's like telling them.
And you know how children are. They're going to talk that shit any chance they get.
Yeah.
We, like Seth said, actually, we see Daemon. He's just watching on, literally with, like, glee, just watching the fighting just come to its absolute, like, biggest point, boiling point. Everything's gotten to pop off. Daemon loves it. The king's like, all right, everyone's done some wrong here. You guys talk some shit. You slashed his eye open. Everyone's at fault. Let's all just apologize. And let's just be a family. And Alicent's like, bro, are you fucking joking?
He's like, I'm old. Like, I'm tired. I don't want to do this anymore.
For real. I'm dying. Look at me. I have no hair. You guys are doing this to me. Can't we all just get along? Alicent's like, bro, you got to be joking, dude. Your son is permanently fucked up. His eye is gone. The king is like, what do you want me to do? Alicent's like, let's take his fucking eye.
Yeah. Kill her wolf.
Huh? Let's take his eye. You serious? Even the king's like, you're joking, right? Like, let's not be so fucking crazy.
Like, are you being the craziest person in the room right now? My wife, like, what's going on here?
Dude, she goes, I'll even let him pick the eye. He didn't give my son that consideration. He can choose which eye we take.
That is savage.
What the fuck? You want him to do an eye test? Like, yeah, you know what? Take this one. This one sees a little better. Take this one. Thanks.
Yeah, it's one thing to be a pissed off mom. Another to be like, We need to take some eyes right now.
A literal eye for an eye exchange. Bitch is crazy.
Yeah.
She is going to call over to Christian Cole. Hey, Cole, go take that shit. Cole's like,
I'm your sworn protector, not assassin.
yeah.
That's what he said. He's like, I'm your
Little too
protector.
much.
That's his response. I'm your protector.
Yeah.
Not your.
But yeah, she even says, she goes, you're sworn to me. She like proclaims it basically. Like, you know what I mean? Do what I'm fucking telling you, not what the king's telling you, kind of a thing. But the king's like, all right, enough. Fucking, let's all just fucking, call us a day. Let's just get the fuck out of here. And then Allison is going to go fully off the handles. She is going to grab the cat's paw dagger right out of the sheath around his fucking King Viserys' waist. And she is going to charge at fucking Rhaenyra and her kids. Rhaenyra, being the gangster savage bitch that she is, catches her fucking hand.
She's like totally overmatched. Allison, it seemed like it wasn't even
did.
a threat. It was
Yeah.
like a man versus woman almost. Like,
It did seem very easy for her.
yeah.
Rhaenyra's a gangster. There's no,
She is, yeah.
There's no way, but Rhaenyra is a gangster. Certified G gangster.
for sure.
But cool little thing, because while she grabs this, she kind of starts talking shit to her too. She's just kind of like, hey, I already, how was it hiding, being the crazy one all these years? Now everybody in this
The whole
fucking
room
room
knows you for who you really are.
Your cloak of courtesy, I think she calls it.
Yeah,
Like,
it's gone.
Yeah, or your veil of courtesy or something like
Yeah,
that.
no, I think that's what it was.
Now we can see you for what you are.
Everyone
Whispers that to
sees.
her.
Yep. And as she says this, fucking Allison pulls away, fucking ends up slashing Rhaenyra. Seems kind of accidental, but either way, slashes are pretty fucking good. And we see her hand; it's bleeding pretty damn fucking good. You know what I mean? It's dripping a whole lot of blood. I was like, that's a crime. Can't attack the princess. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if you're the queen or not. That's a problem.
Yeah.
Then Prince Aemon's going to continue to be his new gangster-ass self with his new grabbing of his balls. He's going to go over and be like, hey, yo, Ma, don't even fucking worry about it. Yo, I lost an eye, but I got a dragon. It was a good fucking deal. I was just like,
That was such an awesome line.
yeah, it was. I was
After
like,
all this,
"Ah,
he's
fuck."
like, hey, you know what, Ma? I lost an eye, but I got a dragon, so we're good.
Uh-huh.
That line was in the book too.
Was it?
Yep.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
You can tell this kid's starting to, he just got a dragon an hour or two ago, and he's already becoming a problem. He's
Yep.
already becoming a problem. And now he's going to look cool because he's got an eye patch and shit.
Yeah, he seems like the coolest Targaryen for a while. He seemed like he had some reasonable side to him, but he's gained all the cockiness in 5 minutes. He's
Yeah,
caught up to
definitely.
Aegon.
Definitely. And as soon as he delivers this line, the camera peers over to Otto, and Otto is just looking on with a huge grin oh, fuck Aegon. I don't even care if
gets
he's
it.
the oldest. This is my dog right
That's
here.
what I'm
Yeah.
saying, yeah, that's why I don't know. I made a big turnaround on Otto. He's just like, yeah, I'm in this guy's corner.
Yeah.
Sign me up with this guy.
Yeah. He saw it and he likes it. And it's not the only thing he likes, because we find out in the very next scene, we go to Allison's chambers. Otto strolls on in, and Allison's basically like, go ahead, get your little spiel over with. I know I acted wrong. I acted a fool. I fucking did dirty to our name. I did dirty to my position as queen, yada, yada, yada. And I was like, yeah, all that's absolutely true. But I also saw you turn into a G that I didn't know you could be, and you have some balls, and I fucking see that you want to win this Game of Thrones for the first time.
And you have the capability to do it.
Yeah.
I can see it. Yeah.
Yeah, he was impressed, and you could tell right away she was just like, oh, word. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, Dad. So, and then right away she's like, well, what do you suggest I do next?
Yeah.
So you're going to come in here and give me some compliments, you know what I mean? Fuck. But, Otto's kind of like, all right, we're just going to play the hand. We will prevail, basically kind of a thing. And he goes, Aemon was absolutely right. The price to pay for bringing Vhagar to our cause was worth 1,000 times over the price of his eye, basically. And it's like, shit. Yeah, we didn't think of it like that. Fucking, we had Vhagar with us, and now Vhagar's going to the Greens, and it is the biggest fucking dragon out there. That's problematic. Yeah. And her rider seems like he's finding his own, you know what I mean? But very interesting little scene. From there, we're going to go kind of to the opposite. We're going to see Rhaenyra. She's chilling in her chambers. Laenor's going to fucking stroll on in. And he's just like, yo, what's going on? You're bleeding. My kid's bleeding. What I miss? I was just having fun with Carl the Q. Having a good time, singing and drinking. You know what I'm saying? Rhaenyra's arm, we see it's getting sewn up. Gash is fucking mean. Huge. she's like, all right, everyone, kind of give us the room, bail out of here. And Leno's going to kind of apologize. He's going to be like, yo, like, I know I let you guys down. I should have been a better dad. I should have been a better husband. Like, I'm going to start doing better now. Like, I swear to you, now that my sister's gone, I realize I need to do better. And you've been pretty good to me. You've let me bang a bunch of boys. I've had a lot of fun. I've had a lot of drinks. I've been living a pretty good life. And, I haven't done my part. I'm going to step up.
I owe the family.
And Reynard was just kind of like, all right, fine. I guess I'll give you another chance. Whatever, Doesn't look like she's too into it, but we'll see. We see real quick. Oh, yeah, go ahead. Of course, bud. We got nothing but time. Hit it.
Keep it rolling if you want.
Yeah, we got a couple things we can do. We see that the king looking extra sick.
Extra old.
Extra old, extra sick, extra sweaty. His hair, the hair that he has sweats. I don't know if you've noticed that. His scalp just leaks sweat or hair grease. I don't know what it is.
He has a fever now. You're like, oh man, that's the last thing this guy needed was a fucking fever.
It's just not looking good.
No.
And basically off of the direction of her father, Allison's trying to apologize to him right now. They're traveling in a little I don't even know, chariot, going to the boat to get ready to leave, go back home. And she's like, King, I'm sorry I brought up that thing you told me not to bring up again. I shouldn't have done that. And the king again is just like, don't do this again. He's just too tired to even threaten anymore. He's just so beaten down and fucking tired, sick of the family drama.
Yeah, he's over it.
He's got a back that's literally rotting away, and he has a wife and a daughter that cannot stop fucking bickering back and forth with each other. I honestly thought there was a chance that he was going to die in the scene finally.
Yeah, me too.
Did you?
I really thought so too, yeah.
With the blankie and stuff?
Yeah.
He looks so cozy.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it might have been it for him too.
Maybe this is it. You know what I mean? But like I said, just kind of says, all right, I'm not going to hear any more of it. I doubt that it's a real threat because he doesn't seem like he's...
What's he got left?
He doesn't seem like he can carry out anything.
Nothing left in the tank.
For real. We go to Allison and Clubfoot, her fucking advisor. They're on boat. They're heading back to King's Landing. They're leaving the Driftmark. And Laris, this sick fuck, after killing his dad and brother, is basically going to go up to Allison and be like, hey, yo, you want one of those kids' eyes? Oh, yeah, I can get you one of those kids' eyes. No problem. I'll go get you one of those kids' eyes right now. Real discreet. No one will even know it's me. I'll get you one of those eyes. And Allison's like, no. Nope. I know this game.
Later.
I know this game. No. I appreciate it. I might need something like that down the road. But when I do, I'm gonna need some discretion and I'll let you know. Yeah. And Laris kind of takes the hit okay, I guess I'll leave now.
He's like, well, here's my business card. If you need anything, just give me a call. Just slides it on the table.
Yeah. I kept waiting for him to take it a different way too, the same way he took her last comment about.
Right? Yeah.
Does he think he's saying to go for it?
She was much more careful on her words. I feel like talking to him.
She was also staring. Yeah, she was, and she was staring at her. She was just like, no, I'm not winking. Look at my eyes; they're both open. There's no wink. There's no fingies, crossies behind the backsies. No.
There's totally that. There. He was checking. He's like,
all right.
You sure?
No as in no? Or
no means yes?
No as in yes.
No means means yes? No mean oh no, okay. All right. You sure?
For real.
But we're going to go to kind of our closeout here now, which was an awesome sequence. This sequence was cool. You kind of actually talked about it a little bit earlier. Mm-hmm. We are going to see that Rhaenyra and Daemon have stayed here at the Driftmark. They're watching, King Viserys and Allison. They're the little grouping. They're all leaving. They're heading on back. They're on their boats. They've stayed in the Driftmark, and Rhaenyra is going to say basically I need you, Uncle. I need you. I can't have you leaving me again. She's going to start talking in Valyrian, and she's going to say, I can't face the Greens alone. The first time that they're actually referenced as the Greens, you know what I'm saying? The Greens are the Blacks. Right. And then she's gonna say, "Let's fucking bind our houses. if you're with me, people can't just look down on me as easily as they have in the past. You know what I'm saying? Now it's a more formidable threat. We're more going to take us seriously. They take you seriously. You were the actual old heir. I'm the new heir. Now we're together, heiring together. This is only a win-win for all parties involved. You know what I'm saying?
She's not wrong.
So Damon's going to basically just go, all right, I'm in, but what about Laenor? We kind of got to like take care of that problem because you're married. And Rhaenyra's like, yeah, I've been thinking about that. So we're going to see Daemon going to go down. I think he's like over near like by the ships down on the water. He's going to call up Carl with a Q.
He's got the hood on, so you know he means business. Too. Whenever he's got like the Sith hood on, yeah, you know that he means business.
You're so right. I actually didn't even think of that, but you're so fucking right. Anytime Damon's doing anything a little bit fishy, he fucking tosses that fucking hood on. And he basically says, hey, Carl with a Q, I need a death with a fucking witness, and I'll pay you very handsomely for it. So Carl's like, all right. Okay, I'm in. We go inside the keep again, and we see Daemon is going to choke out this fucking god. Cracks his neck, puts him out.
Right. Which, yeah, I didn't know that makes sense at the time.
It didn't really make sense at the time, so I'm like, okay, maybe we just need to get to Laenor. He's a prince. Maybe he's got some gods protecting him. You know what I mean? Kind of a thing. Maybe that's the scenario. Maybe. We go into the actual back to the their throne room, their hall, and Carl with a Q gonna call out Laenor and basically just be like, "You always fucking look down on me." Laenor's like, "All right, let's fucking do this." They start sword fighting. The guy that's with Laenor's like, "I'm gonna go get help." Hightails it out of there, and then we see that Carl with a Q has killed Laenor and thrown his body into the fireplace, burned it to a crisp. Corlys and Rhaenys come in. They're crying. They're feeling bad. They just lost their daughter. Now they lost their son. They got no kids left. Which, while that's literally happening, and I'm saying that's what Daemon and Rhaenyra are saying over the scene. They're like, they just lost their daughter. They'd be having no kids. Mm-hmm. And they're like literally grieving kind of a thing. You know what I mean? But Rhaenyra's saying, she goes, yeah, and everybody might think that I had something to do with it. And they'll fear us, and they'll think, "What are we gonna do next?"
Yep.
And you can tell that they're just like, "Yeah,
what else are we capable of?"
Yes, yeah. Right. They're like, "This is a great fucking plan. This is awesome." And then it shows the wedding. They do it real quick right away. We see that like
first time in Game of Thrones with a good wedding.
Yeah.
Nothing bad happened at a wedding.
Hey, I fucking mentioned if you want to get married in Game of Thrones, the only way to do it is to sneak off and get married in private. It's the only way to do it.
Yep.
So they had no one there but their kids in the maester to do the fucking ceremony. You know what I mean?
Do some freaky Targaryen ceremony.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah.
Like there's some blood and
little
glass and stuff.
Yeah. Definitely a little weird, but that seemed like the old Targaryen, Valerian ways, Valeria ways, kind of a thing. Which is what they were trying to do. They were trying to. She even mentions Aegon married his two sisters. That's how we conquered fucking Westeros to begin with. You know what I'm saying? Let's do the way it used to be. Yeah. So they get married. The power couple is together. I love it. I don't give a fuck what their relation is. I don't care.
They're stronger because of it.
That's right. They're stronger together. They were meant to burn together. And then we go to the closing, and we find out that Daemon and Rhaenyra, while they are pretty gangster badasses, they both genuinely like Laenor. And while they want to be together, they don't want to actually kill Laenor. Turns out the whole thing was a fucking plan from the get-go. Laenor sails off. He has shaved his head. He is with Carl with a Q. They are heading off to the free cities to live a life of freedom and drinking wine and eating grapes and banging whatever boys they want to bang. He's free of all his responsibilities. No heir to this, no heir to that, no nothing. He can just be who he wants to be. I liked it.
Yeah, I loved it.
I liked it. Yeah,
I send off for him.
It was, it made Rhaenyra and Daemon almost more likable by not doing the actual killing. You know what I'm saying?
I thought they were going full off the rails when they were going to kill him. I'm like, oh, they're full blown evil now.
Yes, right.
They had me fooled too until the very end, and I was like, oh, nice. Yeah, I loved it.
Yep.
Same. I even thought maybe Carl called an audible and found a way to
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
then all survive, but just Damon killing that look-alike guy made it. It was clearly Damon and Rhaenyra's plan,
Yep.
or at least Damon, maybe not.
Yep.
We don't know for sure. Rhaenyra.
Plus, even the way that they talked about it, it seemed like they were, because she was saying, she was like, we can almost paint the face that we're this evil thing. It's almost like what they want to seem is like, yeah, we're evil. Fucking watch out for it. We're dangerous.
Right.
We're dangerous.
Yeah.
But I like that. I hope that Laenor fucking goes on and lives a nice, happy life with his Call of the Q.
Yeah,
I hope they have a
they
good
deserve
time.
it.
They do. They do. Two happy kids just trying to have a good time.
Yeah.
You drink wine and sing and not have to walk into whatever fucking nightmare they have to walk into like they did the last couple of times.
Yeah, for real. For real. But that's going to wrap up that episode. Good episode. Like we said, started slow, but man, once it fucking went, boy. It banged that second half.
Yeah.
We get the first, like I said, first standings, fucking blacks versus greens. We kind of see where the line's starting to form, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I want to look again at that scene too, see like the reactions of the people in the background, see who reacts to defending who and stuff.
Yeah.
Like there's definitely people taking sides even at the moment there.
I didn't mention it, but I actually did like just the little still shot they did at the end of when Allison goes crazy. Mm-hmm. Dame, like if you have Lord Corlys, he's standing behind Rhaenyra and her kids, like standing behind, like with them, you know what I mean? And then Daemon has made his way over from where he was leaning, like Seth said, just kind of overwatching. He has drifted over, and he's actually, I think he's like rubbing one of the boys' heads, kind of a thing, and he's just like, yeah, this is my team right here. These are mine to be my guys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, very symbolic.
Yeah, I thought that was a cool little shot, though. I did like that.
Nice.
Especially because, like we said, Damon was kind of just watching the chaos develop, and then he was just like, "Oh, you guys, it's time to pick sides. All right, I'm over here. I'll see you guys later. I'll fuck you up."
Yeah, he's lost everything else. He's ready to pick a side and throw down.
Yeah.
Let's go.
It seems like we're getting time, almost ready for battle. We saw in the preview we're gonna have another time jump. Fucking Prince Aemon looks like a gangster.
Aemon looks awesome.
Fucking Prince, yeah, he fucking
He looks awesome.
that eye patch is mean, dude.
Yeah.
He's looking like a certified G. King is still fucking kicking too.
How?
I don't know. I don't. Seth?
How?
I do not know.
Why won't you die?
As soon as he dies is when everything goes to shit, though.
That's probably why they're almost kind of prolonging it, drying it out.
and
Just like
that's-
once that happens, it's. So who knows? He might fucking last this whole fucking season now at this point.
Yeah, at this point, anything's
It's starting to seem like it,
an
right?
option. Yeah.
That could be the last episode
Yeah.
or something. Where,
That'd be a good
Like the last
finale.
scene
Things
even,
to
like-
pop off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. But definitely a good episode. I enjoyed it. I liked it a lot. Very Thronesy. I'm happy to see Rhaenyra and Daemon together. My guy, my girl, they're together. They're a team. You got 4 kids now and what? 2 dragons? 3 dragons? 3 dragons.
Yeah, both of the...
Both of Rhaenyra's boys, right? And then one of
Daemon's
Daemon's?
girls. Yeah.
So we got 3 dragons plus Daemon and Rhaenyra, both dragons. We got 5 dragons right there. Let's go.
And we're getting time jumps, so hopefully Rhaenyra and Daemon get busy.
Yeah.
They kind of reference that too, like fire beats fire or whatever.
Yep.
Something like that.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah, actually, I didn't even think of that.
let's make some Dragon Riders, baby.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't even think of
pumping
that.
them out.
Married now and start fucking producing.
Yeah.
But that'll be next week. I can't wait. We only got 3 episodes left, 8, 9, and 10. We're almost getting to the end. It's crazy to think. But I guess that's probably going to wrap it up for that episode. Yes? Any other closing thoughts, or is that going to close that up?
I'm Gucci.
Yeah.
All right. So that's going to basically going to wrap it up for us here today. That was a long one. I guess we apologize. We also apologize again for the cameras. Everything had been going so smooth, like we said. We were due for something like this. We were really due for something like this. Unfortunately, it means that I now have to spend more fucking money to keep doing this show the way that I want to do it, which really sucks, but it is what it is. I hope you guys all enjoyed watching, listening, whatever it is that you did. As always, I ask that you guys please share the show around on your own pages. Try to get it to any new audience that we can. The more eyeballs, the better. Subscribe to the channels. Leave a comment. Like the channels. Leave a review on Spotify. All of it helps. Every single thing like that just moves us up on the algorithms. Just gets us more eyeballs. And the more eyeballs we get, the bigger we can take this show. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Thank you to Mr. Rogers on the 1s and 2s. Again,
Anytime.
killing it. Kid's a natural born producer. You can tell he's been listening to sports talk radio his entire life. And then Mr. Luke Kleinen, as always, our aficionado of Westeros. Thank you for coming in again, bud. Great show. Good time.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
We'll talk to both you boys again soon. It's going to feel nice to only do one episode this week and not 3 like I had to do last week. But thanks for tuning in, and we will talk to all you guys soon. Have a good one.
Later.
Night, homies.